Monolith Film Podcast.
Welcome back to... No, welcome back to the Monolith Film Podcast. It's been a while. For the first time ever, we have a new guest. Laz, you may introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me.
And of course you have Lee, myself, Dante, and Nick Gillum.
As usual. What are we doing today?
Barbenheimer.
Yes.
We did the back-to-back viewing Ultra AVX at Cineplex.
Barbenheimer. I hardly knew her.
Okay, you can leave. Anyways, the four of us, with a couple other homies, we watched Barbie and then Oppenheimer right away right after.
Yeah, what I felt was the general consensus online was
Doing Oppenheimer first.
was to watch Oppenheimer first. Yeah, we didn't do that.
I had pushed for Barbie first because Tall Brown Steven, Coffee Club Steven, told me to watch Barbie first.
His name's Tall Brown Steven?
Yeah.
There are many Stevens in our lives.
That's who they know him as.
In our social circle, there's a lot of Stevens.
Shout out to Steven.
Did he elaborate?
Steven and a Brown
What?
Steven.
Did he elaborate?
No.
Just said watch Barbie first.
I think my friend Bill Black, shout out Bill Black, elaborated. He said that, like, Oppenheimer's too depressing, so when you go watch Barbie after, it just feels weird.
I mean, I didn't find it really depressing.
Me neither, but that's what he said, so I was like, okay.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Is it just like subject matter depressing?
Yeah,
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
nothing really
I found
brought me down.
Really? I found it
No,
quite
I was
impactful.
kind
Well, clearly you're not
of...
Japanese, so...
Whoa.
Well...
I just got that one.
Wow.
Sorry, I have a sinus infection, that's why I laugh weird.
So I mean, I guess my first question for everyone is: do we think it matters?
I think it does.
Yeah. Do we think we got the right order? Or do
The
you think we got the
order
wrong
of
order? Yeah.
I'm not sure it did, because I still... For me, it's always like you want to leave the best thing for last, right? But I preferred Barbie. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I think no matter how it would have been, I would have preferred Barbie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with you going Barbie first, because I found Barbie kind of set you up for watching the movie. You're like, oh, nice popcorn movie, I'm just having fun.
Right.
That's all
Yeah.
I think. It's fun. And then you can get into more
Okay.
movie watching. You're already actively viewing, so you don't
Sure.
have to buffer. Maybe
You're in it.
maybe starting with a 3-something hour movie, you'd be
Yeah,
dead after.
You'd be dead.
You start with Barbie, a little light fun. It gets you into
I think.
it.
I mean, we thought it was going to be like fun. We're going to get into it.
Stay tuned.
I feel
Stay tuned.
though that Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Both movies deserve more than one viewing. I've seen them both twice now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. This is news for us, dog.
Second advice.
Oppenheimer. So I saw it with my partner, but on separate days. And I think honestly that whole idea of online being like, oh, you gotta watch Barbenheimer, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
No, I agree.
I mean, Barbie is a movie that you can have fun with, and you can, it's comedy based, and Oppenheimer is just existential dread, a la Christopher Nolan.
Well,
Yeah.
Barbie was pretty existential dread.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, it ends well. It's not like, oh, this is the pinnacle of science and human civilization, and this is our lives now.
Yeah.
There's a different momentum that's created through the movie by Nolan and by Gerwig. I don't know. I mean, I was great watching it with you guys, but I think Oppenheimer on second viewing was more impactful for me because I was coming out of Barbie and I was like, oh, this was so fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun watching it with you guys. Barbie, I had a blast watching with you guys. It was fun to see you laugh at the exact same things that we knew because of ultimately. Yeah, exactly. But no, Oppenheimer. I mean, listen, personally, if Cillian Murphy doesn't win Best Actor, I mean, I know it's early in the year, but
Whoa. Michael Sarah's Allen over here.
no, that's very true. That's very true. But seriously, Cillian Murphy and Ludwig Göransson, they deserve their Oscars.
I agree with that, and I do agree that I think the Barbenheimer meme
Is a meme.
did more to hurt both films than it did
Interesting.
to excel them. Maybe not in terms of business, financial.
I disagree. Maybe Oppenheimer, but Barbie definitely elevated
Yeah, I
it.
think it boosted Barbie.
It boosted
yeah.
Barbie like crazy.
Yeah,
It's like a whole... I'm pretty sure... You remember Tiger King?
Yeah.
You know how they had that whole meme thing that was happening?
Yeah.
And it was like done by the production company.
Yeah.
Started off because like a meme campaign.
Yeah.
Guaranteed this was a meme campaign too.
No, but what I
fucking
mean,
smart, yeah.
what I mean by
elevate the experience of the movie.
Yeah, because I think everyone I've spoken to, apart from us, really was disappointed with Barbie, and disappointed with Barbenheimer.
Everyone I spoke to thought Barbie was incredible and thought it was better than
Really?
Oppenheimer. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm speaking to the wrong people then.
You can't compare them though.
No, that's also part of what I mean is
not
that
fair.
by calling it Barbenheimer, you're inherently setting yourself up to compare them, and they're so drastically different. I mean, even we're
And to
doing a
know-
Barbenheimer
But I
episode.
mean, the bit itself is that they're so drastically different.
Yes,
Let's say
of
so.
course.
But
Yeah.
if it were somehow produced that way or supposed
Yeah.
to be seen that way as a double feature or something, maybe
Yeah.
there would be more to it. But
So
there's nothing really
Here's my
to
take,
talk about both of them together.
and this is what I think should have done but wasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because I mean, when French Dispatch came out, to me that was the biggest movie of the summer.
Best Wes Anderson movie, by the way. Just that's my.
And then Asteroid City came out this year, and I didn't hear about it until it was out.
Really?
I saw it on Instagram ads. I
Did
saw
you?
a lot of ads on Instagram.
I saw a couple ads,
Yeah.
too.
I saw a couple ads.
So, in Asteroid City, they're in a desert in Nevada or New Mexico or somewhere, and they see nuclear tests off in the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And Margot Robbie is also in
Mhm.
the movie as this. She's not Barbie,
I see
but
what
she's a idealized romantic woman in,
Okay.
in the film.
Mhm.
So I think the true order should have been Barbie, Asteroid City to bridge the gap, and
Then
then
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
That's all like that.
Because
Sure.
Margot Robbie, Barbie, and the bomb are
That's
both
true.
in Asteroid City.
That's the fucking where the
But the
circles
thing is, the
overlap.
whole meme campaign was centered around the idea that obviously Barbie is like ridiculous and,
Yes.
and childish and joyful,
Yes.
and Oppenheimer is like super depressing, kind of thing,
Mhm.
or like very serious movie, very
Right.
like I don't remember what the catalyst for that meme comparison was.
I think they came out on the same day.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
It's
they
just
came
that
out
they
the same day,
had
but
the-
I remember the meme part of it, like because there's other things that happened that kind of made that same kind of comparison.
Well, it came out on the same day, and so the Warner Brothers and Universal, because there's a whole backstory as to why Christopher Nolan is no longer with Warner Brothers, is because of.
No, but I'm talking about the meme side of it, though.
Yeah, no, the meme side of it is it came out on the same day, and so imagine watching this cautionary tale about science and then Barbie.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's
like
like
it's like where both are the pinnacles of capitalism, if you will,
sure.
and just like first world compared to third world, and how that affects just the entire.
No, but
planet.
it's very ironic, like meme
Oh, yeah,
contrast
no,
to irony,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think in terms of meme culture, the rise of Ryan Gosling helped a lot too.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's
I
what we
mean,
mean, yeah.
before Barbie was ever announced, Ryan Gosling was becoming so memeified.
I would have said he was totally me in the movie if he played like Deftones instead of country music,
Fucking
which
old
makes
Ken.
more sense for me. It makes more sense for me. But it's wild how like that
Yeah.
whole meme thing was happening,
But I think
and then it turns out fucking Barbie's the deeper movie.
Ooh.
In my opinion.
Ooh, what do you mean by
We're
that?
gonna
What do you mean by
start.
that?
We're gonna get into it now.
I think maybe deeper might be the wrong adjective.
Oh no, I think it's very much the right actor.
I think more
Introspective, maybe?
I would say more figurative, more metaphorical. Because I mean, Oppenheimer's a straight biopic.
Yeah, but there's no. I don't feel like Oppenheimer had a deeper artistic meaning behind it,
Really
whereas Barbie very much did.
interesting. Well, okay.
We're gonna get into it.
I mean, should we continue on this Barbenheimer
I think-
track, or should we split the movies?
Should we
I
split the
mean,
movies?
do we want to kind of go with the meme and have them side by side and compare?
Well, okay, no,
That's how
I
we
think,
saw
I
it,
think for like the next,
as if it's the Barbenheimer.
I think for the
episode.
next 10-15 minutes we should talk about Barbie, then talk about Oppenheimer, then compare after.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so let's start with Barbie then.
Sorry, Barbie. So
Well, I mean, first of all, surface level, what does everyone think?
I thought it ruled.
4 on 5 on my Letterboxd.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
The soundtrack's awesome. Cinematography slaps.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I also
fantastic.
thought, I mean, just straight up, fucking good movie.
Yeah.
It did rule.
The thing about Barbie that made it so good was how much of a curveball it was.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a
Because
surprise.
all of us were expecting some fucking blockbuster, whatever. Well, no, I was expecting like a good movie. Because when we saw like all the stuff that came out, like all these trailers and stuff like that, like they're gonna leave the Barbie world, come to the real world. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That sounds like it's gonna be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But nowhere did I see it being that meaningful and deep, and really,
I think
being such a curveball.
I think Laz and I, in terms of fans of Greta Gerwig and Baumbach, if I may,
Absolutely.
they're both fantastic writers and fantastic directors. I had very high hopes.
I honestly, the trailers were very lackluster compared to my expectations.
Really?
Like when I was watching the trailers, I was like, oh, I hope it's not just
because I didn't expect it to be like Neon Justice Evangelion over here.
I mean, listen,
the second I heard
it had the same ending, dude.
getting the robot Barbie.
Yeah. No, like, you ever watch End of Evangelion, the movie?
Is it okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. Side tangent. Let's dive into Evangelion here. Is that movie not just a is every Evangelion movie not just a recap of the anime?
No, it's not.
Because I feel like I watched 2 Evangelion movies and they were both just like
re-edits
of the entire anime.
Those are the rebuilds.
Okay.
So there's the original series.
Okay.
Then there's a rebuild series, which is like 4 or 5 episodes.
Like the Ridley Scott
that is a direct recap of the show.
Okay.
But there's an actual movie called The End of Evangelion that is the true ending of the original show.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to
and
I've seen You Are Not Alone.
That's a good tangent.
And the ending's very similar.
Okay.
No, it's it's completely similar.
It's extremely similar.
Okay.
That's the thing is, it's like the trailers were lackluster to the movie.
Yeah.
The movie's very much inspired by Tatsi. I mean, they said
Jacques Tati, even Jacques Demy. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But like I did when it started opening with a 2001: A Space Odyssey sequence.
Well, that was the first trailer.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. I didn't see the trailer.
Oh, that was the first teaser.
I was like, "What the fuck are we watching over here?"
Okay, because I was surprised you were like that much into it as soon as it started because that was the first.
I didn't even know that was a trailer.
Wow.
I didn't see any trailers for either movie. I avoid trailers as a rule.
Yeah, never watch them
general.
beforehand.
Yeah.
No, that was.
I can't help myself.
But let's talk about that first scene because I know you didn't like
thought
it
it
as
was
much.
terrible. Yeah, I mean that's such
Really?
It's so overused. It's so ripped off. It's like 160
Yeah, but
episodes.
I know it's overused.
Yeah.
It's such a cliche to use the 2001
Yeah.
opening, but it sometimes made sense in that movie. It didn't really make sense in that movie, but it just was like the pre-cum to this fucking curveball
But I mean,
of a movie.
I think it's
Okay,
You know
well,
what
hold up.
Why?
Because Gerwig referenced that movie. She referenced Tati a little more implicitly.
Spaces.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was pretty explicit in terms of what it playtime.
Just set design, office spaces, the way Will Ferrell kind of acts as like character, like the more like the superimposition of like the sets and how the characters act within the sets.
Yeah,
very Tati-esque.
Was the Kubrick reference bolder? Was it more in your face?
I mean, it was. Yeah.
It's extremely in your face.
It's in your face.
So why? Right? That's the question. Why
But it's
did she do
iconic. It's different. It's iconic differently because Tati it's not everyone knows who Jacques Tati is, but even if you haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, everyone knows that soundtrack.
Yeah,
or everyone has seen. Everyone has seen the monkey with the.
Or a parody. Of
They've done it in The Simpsons. They've done it in everything.
Yeah.
So maybe the point of her using that is to use the film icon version of what Barbie is.
Sure.
Right, because Barbie is the toy icon. Everyone knows, whether you played with Barbie, whether you've seen Barbie, you know Barbie.
Right.
Whether you've seen 2001, whether you know Kubrick, you know that scene.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, but I feel like that 2001 scene was really there to just be like, this is the type of movie this is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be self-aware.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not going to be just a Barbie movie.
Sure.
It's going to be a weird-ass movie.
It was an odyssey.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it was worth it. I mean, and the reference,
was it Campbell?
Like
What's his first name? Jay Campbell, Joseph Campbell, John Campbell? The Hero Circle? He developed the Hero Circle.
The Hero's Journey.
The Hero's Journey,
yeah.
In terms of that, by definition,
is an odyssey.
Barbie is an odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that deep enough to merit a reference to Kubrick?
I mean, I just think
because almost every great story like that's like a basic story. It's that follows the hero's journey, you know. So
I
mean, you know, the fucking TV show Community follows the hero's journey, you know, in every episode.
Okay, but Dan Harmon has cited Campbell explicitly
Yeah.
as his source material for everything.
But I
he
feel
writes.
you can one-to-one it with a lot of stuff, you know?
Yes, for sure. And I mean that's what made Campbell's writing so good. But so is there anything deeper to that reference? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know. I found it too much. Like it seemed like the easy kind of.
Because you're a film guy. That's why
I mean,
you
I've
see
seen
it every 2
so
seconds.
many times. Like it's almost the obvious choice. To
So
grab
okay,
at.
would you have liked if they did the same thing, but instead of referencing 2001, they referenced like The Mirror or
Almost,
something?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. If it was another reference, maybe it's 2000. Like,
If they did like the
so
burning
done.
house in the mirror, you know what I'm
It
talking about?
So done.
There
yeah.
was a really interesting little reference of the Holy Mountain at the Mattel offices. If you caught
That was a very Holy Mountain movie.
but but
If what's his name?
Shitting on that. I remember that.
no, but the if you go into the Mattel offices, there was a rainbow
yeah.
mural in the Mattel offices of the door, like when you come into the offices.
Okay, I see.
It was like a blink and you miss, or I don't know. I found that interesting. I think
I didn't catch that.
personally, I think the 2001: Space Odyssey, just the entire movie is very it really reveres the movies that came before it. Matrix, 2001.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Any Jacques Tati.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the Dada and Michael Cimino movies, really, it's just kind of there. And I mean, I feel like Baumbach and Gerwig they knew what they were hired for. They were hired for a and for lack of a better term, corporate Barbie, Mattel, Warner Brothers picture.
Yeah.
But is that how it started, though? Because wasn't
Well,
it just supposed
It
to
originally used to be
and then it
Amy
was
Schumer
fun?
as Barbie.
Okay, yeah.
But
And
then somehow, because what I heard was that Margot Robbie was the producer before Gerwig was the director.
Interesting. Well, I mean, a lot of actors do that now, though. They become,
Yeah.
if you want me attached to your movie, I need to be a producer as well.
Right.
yeah.
That's like a
Yeah.
thing. in
And
their
I think Margot
contracts.
Robbie definitely has that much pull in Hollywood.
Well, I mean,
now.
she had that pull with, I think it was Harley Quinn and the
yeah.
Emancipation of whatever, Birds of Prey and
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever,
but-
yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, but I mean, I don't feel like we're done with the 2001.
I was gonna say let's move on from
Because-
2001.
Because to me, that reference was...
Did you like it? That reference?
I loved it.
Yes. I mean, just surface alone,
Yeah.
just seeing that as the intro to the movie, I was like, haha, fun.
The set design was great. The
Right.
set design was great.
Clearly, it's made by
But-
someone who knows movies, right?
Yes,
you know,
sure.
it's like
yeah.
because it's not just the music; it's the set design, the pieces,
The cliff face,
the cliff, the kids,
the costumes. She
Yeah.
wore like the black and white.
Right, which
zigzags.
was... Yeah.
The original
an
Barbie.
OG Barbie
It's like-
swimsuit, whatever, fuck. I don't
the
want
monolith.
yeah.
Right.
She is new knowledge for girls. Yeah,
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, is that I think the reference does go deeper.
yeah.
Because where 2001 is an exploration of humanity's advancements in technology,
Mm-hmm.
I think Gerwig was trying to make a movie about humans' advancements to equality.
Yeah. Well, I think 2001 and the Barbie reference, I think, is more of like a mental shift they're
Yeah.
showing. Like you're stuck in this mindset, then you find this.
Right. Yes.
And then
Yeah.
you change.
It's
yeah.
advancement. It's progress.
Or like a change.
Yeah.
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 So to me, it felt warranted. It
It
didn't
makes
feel.
sense. Though.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But I just think it's too easy of a reference to
Sure.
grab, maybe.
Sure.
Well, I mean,
But
even
might
if for
feel
today's audience, is it really
Yeah.
that easy?
I mean, it might not even be referenced.
For
to
us,
the
it's
original.
easy.
Yeah, but they might.
We're
only
film
know the
critics. It's
parodies.
easy for
Yeah.
us, you know.
Yeah, I think people might know the parodies more than the original
Maybe.
Yeah.
thing. You know,
They know the music for sure.
The music, yeah,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
But like if they did
Or
like some
fits.
other wizard ass movie, like if they did a reference to
Battleship.
Battleship, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Battleship potential.
Like Battleship Potemkin or something like that, or
Yeah.
some other like wild
Yeah.
film studies movie. Like I think it'd be lost on everyone that's not into film.
I mean, I think the fact that she referenced fucking Jacques Tati and Jacques Demy
Yeah.
is a deep fucking pull that no one except for film studies
Yeah, but I
students
don't
would
think
know.
you're supposed to get those references. You know, you're supposed
Yeah.
to feel.
I guess, but the Jacques Tati one was pretty explicit.
If you know.
She pretty much copied the set design for The Office.
If you know.
The Denis stuff is a little more nuanced because it's more just about mood and dress and
Yeah.
stuff. But the
But
Tati stuff was in your
But the
face.
Tati stuff, I'm thinking about this since a lot of movies have copied that Office Space.
Ah,
I mean,
Office Space.
Office Space is one of those examples, no, I find clearly Gerwig and Baumbach are lovers of film,
Yeah.
and I mean, you're not gonna hire. I feel like they could have hired anyone as a director, but they did choose Baumbach and Gerwig to write and direct the film. So at a certain point, even if I was head of studio, I would be like, okay, have fun, do what you want, kind of, just follow these rules.
Okay, let's move on from the 2001 opening now. Let's talk about the real movie, because I think we got everyone's consensus on the 2001 opening.
Sure.
I think we spent 20 minutes talking about just the 2001 opening, so... What'd you guys think of the fucking movie? I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Barbie was, I mean, without watching any trailers, or like, I don't read anything with movies, I just go in and watch
Oh,
them.
God, so fuck.
It works out perfect. And I mean, I was expecting like a G-rated movie, kids
Same
movie.
PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought
Well,
it was
it's
going to be like a capitalist thing. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's this and that. But in the end,
Like
it's
just a
all
big Barbie commercial.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, partially.
I thought it was going to be a big Barbie commercial, but also be like them go out into the real world and have this existential ideas with the real world. But I didn't think it would be so meaningful.
No, exactly. It was
I
a
mean,
big surprise.
Have you guys seen Gerwig's other stuff?
Absolutely.
Not really.
I know you have. We've spoken about it. But
I love Gerwig.
me too. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
And Baumbach.
Yeah, it's not. The thing is that I think Gerwig is restrictive in the sense that it is only she writes them really well, but she does write straight white women, or I mean white women.
But write what you know.
But exactly, right? What
Yeah.
you know, right? What's most personal is most creative.
Yeah.
To Scorsese's point. But the thing is that I feel like it is clear that this is Gerwig's voice with Baumbach's kind of little Merowitz story quips.
Sure.
And it's, I feel like it's clearly Gerwig's movie.
Yeah, did Baumbach do any directing on it, or is he just co-wrote?
just writer.
Co-wrote. Oh, okay.
But who knows?
He probably did something.
I don't. I mean, watching it, it doesn't feel like Baumbach at all.
It feels like Gerwig completely.
The comedy feels like Baumbach. I think.
okay.
Oh yeah.
But
Probably writing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think he probably did just write it because the directing does not feel like him at all.
Is for me, all I'd seen beforehand of the movie was in commercials. They have like the Chevy fucking whatever SUV they're driving
Sure.
in the commercial,
Yeah.
and it's straight cut from the movie in the commercial. They're jumping in and clicking the button and driving.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, I
frame
mean
for frame.
that second act sequence is a
It's
straight up commercial.
and it is a
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah.
So I was expecting it to be less of a Barbie commercial, more of a fucking Chevy commercial.
Okay.
So I thought they were going to be driving around the real world the whole time. That's what I was expecting. So
Yeah.
going in, I was big surprised.
Okay.
But I think the surprise might have made the movie better for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Maybe the
I
second
agree.
viewing it would go down.
I don't
Then
know.
Oppenheimer felt the other way, maybe.
Because have you seen? I mean, Gerwig's biggest movies are
Is it
what?
Frances
Well, that was
Little
Baumbach.
Women,
That's Baumbach.
Lady Bird.
Oh, okay.
Lady Bird and Little Woman are Gerwig's big
Don't have that.
directorial
I
movies.
love Little Women.
Lady Bird to me is a fucking perfect
That's
movie.
awesome.
It's so fucking good. But so like I know for Laz and I, knowing Gerwig,
Mm-hmm.
we were always expecting more. It was never just going to be a 2-hour Barbie commercial.
The
It
trailers,
was- yeah.
the trailers were not what I expected from the movie.
What
Exactly.
were the trailers, though?
I haven't seen them,
Okay.
but every time someone spoke to me about the
Yeah.
trailers, every time I was like, wait, watch the movie.
Yeah.
Trust me, it will catch you off guard.
Okay,
the
you were
movie,
telling
the
them.
trailers
Yes.
were literally, oh, Barbie is conscious. She goes into the real world and she learns about what being a woman is. But,
Yeah.
like it's not. I mean, that could be a very simple story, but honestly, the surrealist approach that they took for this movie is really the highlight of why I enjoyed it so much. That's me. It's not. I mean, the movie.
Yeah, but
could
your
have
favorite movie is also Cat in the Hat.
been, but the movie could have been really bad. I'm actually not kidding. I will say this till the end of my days. Cat in the Hat is my favorite movie of all time.
That's awesome.
We're gonna do a Cat in the Hat
And we
podcast
should,
one day.
yeah.
We have to.
But I'm saying, this movie. Think of it. This movie could have been really bad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it could have been
absolutely.
Very,
Especially-
despite being directed by Gerwig, it could have been very bad.
especially with the involvement of Mattel, they produced the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With the
Yes.
involvement of
I'm surprised they were that
parents,
critical of the
That's what
government
I'm
company,
saying.
right?
Yeah.
Well, they're not
Yeah.
though. That's
Well, they let
that's my other takeaway. I mean, I
Okay,
like the movie.
okay.
We can get into it later, but
Yeah.
just spoiler. I don't think that they were critical enough of their own material.
Mm.
It's a good movie, but it didn't need to be Barbie.
Yeah, well, I think it's
Okay.
it's a fake critique of themselves. Like, you guys know
Sure.
MASH? You know the show MASH?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And the characters, the main guy, Hawkeye and whatever, they're
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
like, they're the cool guy, surgeons and everything. They're going against the army. but they always get the job done, you know? So they're still, in the end,
They're still getting the job done.
good for the army.
Because they're going to sell a bunch of Barbie shit right after
Yeah.
this, bro.
So it's still
Oh, and they did.
They did, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know how much these things are though? $75.
Is it actually?
Dude, they
A Barbie?
A Barbie is $75. That's
Yeah, so
insane.
here's the fucked up thing.
I'm looking it
I
up.
was while I was doing research for this episode, I
USD.
stumbled across Frida Kahlo,
Yeah.
the
Frida
artist.
Kahlo? Yeah.
Kahlo.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite artists of all time, dude.
So do you know there's a
What
Barbie?
do you mean Salma Hayek? No.
There's a Barbie doll of her.
Oh, yeah?
They made a
With the
Barbie doll.
unibrow?
No, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
They completely effaced her.
Look.
Um,
Or aesthetic.
what's it called?
Wait.
Physiology.
No. Like when you're in between genders, what David Bowie did.
Yeah, it's with an A.
Yeah, it's with an A.
Yeah.
Ace.
Androgynous.
Androgynous. They
Androgyny.
completely effaced her androgyny.
Okay.
They made her a straight up,
Very feminine.
slightly tanned Barbie doll,
Oh, that's funny.
and they named it Frida Kahlo. And they had this because there's a Barbie YouTube account where she's
Okay.
an influencer, and for her birthday, she made a vlog talking about the art of Frida Kahlo.
That's
And then on
funny.
the same day, they released the Frida Kahlo, but that doll cost like $130.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's like it looks nothing like her.
Mhm.
Her entire estate
It's-
spoke up against Mattel
Oh,
and
yeah.
being like, "You guys are fucking insane." Like Frida Kahlo would have fucking hated this.
Mhm.
She was so staunchly and explicitly communist
Yeah.
and so anti-gender and everything. And it's just
But then how do they get the rights to use her?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who they spoke to because her whole family spoke against it.
That's funny. There's
That's
one
wild.
person
And also-
So,
going,
yeah, someone else.
Yeah.
A lot of Frida Kahlo's paintings are not PG-13 material.
Right. Yeah. Which
They're
is
very
yeah,
fucked up.
which is extremely against.
Well, see, the next thing they have to do is a 5'2" Ken Picasso. Just bald, kind of obese,
short,
hates
little
women.
brush,
Yeah. You know.
paints on windows.
Yeah,
shit
there you
like
go.
that.
It's perfect. The whole line.
Okay.
But was it actually $75? Was I right? Kind of.
Some dolls were like $15.
Okay, no, but I'm talking about
Oh,
the
gee.
movie Barbies.
Oh, I didn't check the movie. I just
Oh,
looked at
okay.
Barbie.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just saw that one Frida Kahlo one on eBay. It was like 130.
That's
Jesus.
crazy.
I kind of want to buy that though.
I mean, it's probably collector's edition, but it looks nothing like her.
Well, it's just the normal Barbie doll with a little tan and a unibrow.
Pretty much.
That's
No
fucking
unibrow.
whack.
And it's such a thin.
Yeah, Frida Kahlo,
you have to
unibrow.
you have to look at it through a fucking magnoscope. To
Oh,
find
But
it.
but see, that's my thing. Is that my one big criticism of this movie for so the way I've seen it twice now, and the way I kind of figure it out is a lot of critics are like, oh, this is surface level feminism. It's like, okay, but imagine someone who doesn't know what feminism is. This is how they start. So it's kind of like Barbie doesn't know what feminism
Yeah.
is and doesn't know what the patriarchy is.
Okay.
It's like you have to teach them.
So
And then you
here's-
can go into further stuff. But
Yeah.
the problem is that to know, unfortunately, as much as I love Gerwig and as much as I enjoyed the movie, you have to consider that there are 5-year-olds making these dolls in sweatshops. 5-year-old
Yeah, sure.
girls.
Yeah.
And there's a really, it's a real dichotomy of do I enjoy this or do I kind of want to critique the living hell out of this and be like, this is a corporate product, regardless of how meta and how self-aware it is. And to the movie's point, she's gorgeous. They said in the movie,
Yeah.
she's a terrible example if you want to make the point of for this movie. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're critiquing the patriarchy. They're not critiquing slavery.
Wow, ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So here's
But, yeah, the patriarchy is slavery.
here's my thing. So here's my general take on the film is that the main criticism I've heard is that A, people don't really get it.
Okay.
It's just kind of pretty.
Oh, because they're dumb. That's why.
And B is that, and this is the incel take, is that it's too feminist.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's
And hold on.
not.
So here's my thing. Here's my take is that the word.
Tell me you've never seen a vagina without telling me you've never seen it.
Yeah, literally. So the internet has corrupted and destroyed the word feminism.
Yeah.
Because what that means now, in online circles, feminism is pro woman
An anti-man.
and explicitly anti-men.
That's not that.
But feminism at its core was all about equality.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, it's a lot more important to label this movie not as feminist to piss off all the fucking incels, but to label it as humanist. Because even when Ferrera's character. I don't remember her name.
I don't think she has a name.
Oh, really? Just the human mom?
Yeah, I think so. It's
When her character gave that
Gloria?
big feminist speech about what it feels like to be a woman,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not a woman.
No.
I have, despite all of the,
Basically, that's what I was gonna say. Cause
despite all the questioning of gender that exists in society, I have never felt that. I have never questioned my own gender identity.
yeah,
I've always felt male. And even watching this woman describe the struggles of being a woman in society, I have never identified with the character more.
really.
To me, it did not feel
That's
whatsoever.
you saying that was such a twist to me just now. 'Cause I didn't think you were gonna say that.
To me, that her speech did not feel
Just
woman-oriented. It felt human-oriented. It felt like it placed, in my mind, it placed the Barbie movie as a movie not about women trying to find authority or power in society, but as
Which
a
they already
movie-
had in the Barbie world.
right? But as a movie about people, about humans trying to find their place and their purpose in the society we've built, which
Mhm.
is a capitalist society.
Yeah.
That's how I interpreted the film as a whole.
You see, I agree with you for the most part. But the big difference, I think, is that because you're not a woman,
Yeah,
it's impossible for you to know how it feels to be a woman.
absolutely, and I don't deny that.
And because like a lot
Yeah,
one time when I was in school, I was the only straight guy in school
okay,
because everyone was they were everyone was non-binary where I was going to school. You went to school with me.
Yeah.
We went to art school, so everyone's non-binary. And it's cool. I loved it. I thought it was great. I have a lot of trans friends, non-binary friends, and I actually got privilege checked one time,
yeah,
rightfully so.
sure,
Because one time, because you guys know me, I'd stay at the studio till like 4 in the morning,
yeah,
and I used to live at Atwater. I would just walk back home. It was like 10-minute walk,
yeah,
whatever. And my friend was like, "Oh, it must feel good," because she was a girl. She's like, "Oh, it must feel good to be able to do that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, my bad." And she's like, "Yeah, it's fucking." She's like, "I'm scared shitless to do that. That's why I'm leaving right now.
Mm.
I gotta catch the bus." I was like, "Oh, yeah, makes sense." But it just showed me how much like you can't know how it could feel,
yes,
Because when she, but the thing is, when she was saying all that stuff in the speech in the movie, I related to it a little bit, but not that much because I don't give a shit what other people think about me.
right.
So like I don't go around thinking about what other people.
You
think.
have the privilege to not give a shit, though.
Yeah, I know, but I can feel like other men do give a shit.
Okay.
But my personality is kind of like that,
Right, okay.
so I don't really. I didn't identify with that much, but I feel like if you were a woman, you can identify with a lot. Even if, no matter how much you identified with it, I think if you're a woman, it would be like 10 times more.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm assuming so.
yeah.
But also, I feel like the whole Barbie movie, like you were saying, it was surface level feminism a little bit.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean,
But like, I feel like it was such a good, condensed, concise, coherent, little package of feminism knowledge to throw at the wizards, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was really like,
Especially casting Ryan Gosling.
as the literally me guy.
Like all these Ryan Gosling Chad incels going to see Barbie for Ryan Gosling are being like, oh shit, wait, hold up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I've seen like, oh, the movie is pro Ken, and it's like there's a lot of people who do
Yeah.
not understand the point of the movie.
Yeah, I
No.
anticipated that.
Like how I felt about the movie was that, but also I feel like, like the Barbie world, the Kens, the men were like the women in our world.
Yeah.
Kind of that's what she's trying to say.
Yes,
you know?
yes, of course.
So when they went to our world, it was switched up. It was flipped on his head, and the Ken was feeling like he was kind of when he got to our world, he was feeling like how the girls felt in the Barbie world,
So here's the thing.
and vice versa. Just way more abuse,
Yes. But so I think that was on purpose
Oh yeah, it's totally upon purpose. It's the same.
in the way that I think the movie is trying to portray that neither is good.
Yes,
Right?
But
But the Barbie world is flawed for the way they treat Ken, but
The Kens, yeah.
which is
But
where this opinion that the Kens were right comes from. But the movie is also very explicitly saying, and even more so saying, that the real world still has a
women like the Kens,
long
yeah.
fucking way to go.
Yeah, but you see, that's where I feel like while I completely agree with the definition of feminism, equality and stuff like that, that's where I feel like we differ, because we're still not there yet.
No, absolutely not. You're right.
So feminism, like, sure, we could call it egalitarianism,
Yeah.
but I still call it feminism because women are still treated like shit in the real world.
Yes.
They're still, even if as a man I can't tell, I'm not a woman, I don't know what it feels like to be treated like a woman.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of women in my life, and I know that they're not treated as equals, no matter how advanced we are right now. So I still call it feminism because we still need to bring it up to that level of its importance,
Yes.
right? That's how I feel about that. So while I do think the movie was about it being equal, and when they went back to the Barbie world, they had the Kens and the Barbies at the same level almost. I feel like we're not in the Barbie, we're in the real one.
Yeah.
Right? We still got to bring it up, so, yeah, what were you saying?
Like, I mean, the movie could have that humanist message where it's kind of equaling two worlds together, but like the motive of the movie, what they're trying to push,
Yeah.
is still feminist.
Well, it's through a feminist lens,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Yes. But I feel like I mean, imagine making that movie through.
Us
an
dudes are already there,
actual
bro. We're already there. We won't have to catch up, Or not catch up, that's the wrong word, but this. It's like we got all the good shit, and
Yeah.
they got it. Like, we want women to be up here with us,
Yeah. And I feel like I guess my point was just that I think people are being too critical of it being feminist in the
Yeah.
now radical definition of the word.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it's more a movie that tries to adhere to the traditional sense of the word feminism
Yeah, sure.
in terms of bringing everyone to an equal playing field.
Yeah, sure.
I felt.
Oh, okay, and so. No, I'm joking. What did you think of the movie? You said, what did you think of the movie?
I mean, message of the movie kind of felt a bit expected, like where not exactly what the story was or like the things that happened in it, but the overall thing. You knew it wasn't going to be like, fuck this shit, man. Fuck. It was always going to be some kind of feminist something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was more interested, I think, in the camera movement of it.
I knew you were gonna say something weird like that.
I mean, I was thinking with Barbie and then comparing it to Oppenheimer is more what I was thinking about most of the time through Oppenheimer.
Really,
the camera more the camera in Barbie.
Well, Oppenheimer's incredibly technical.
I mean, compared to Barbie though, I think Barbie was a lot more fucking like the details in it and the way it was done.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
I mean, Gerwig's a fucking fantastic director.
It was amazing. I found.
Yeah, no, it was very good.
Like
I found Oppenheimer's cameras and camera movement was very static.
It was
wow. That's a hot take.
Okay, well, let's get there when we get there. Let's keep
It wasn't as dynamic as Barbie. There's no way.
Okay, but it
wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
As
well, the
Barbie.
camera
wasn't
movement.
pink. Wasn't pink enough.
I guess so, but
I mean, even if Barbie was in black and white, I think it would still.
no, the movement. Yeah, the way the camera moved was so much more dynamic
It
in
was
Barbie.
so much more striking, and just like the film craft of it, making
Yeah.
the fucking establishing shots were all miniatures, like the fucking guy. I mean, every little detail was done so perfect. The craning and everything in Barbie world, at least.
Yeah.
In the real world, maybe not so much. But in Barbie world, the camera fucking was
and
fantastic.
that's probably my main criticism with the film is they spent too much time in the real world.
Probably, yeah.
And that whatever fucking 10-minute car chase, that's just one big Chevy car commercial.
Yeah.
That like I was in it, Like I was in the movie. I was invested. I was in the world, and then I was watching a car commercial.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm watching it, I'm like seeing how the director works its craft, you know? So in Barbie, I'm going, wow, this fucking stuff is like perfect. It's pinpoint, beautiful crane coming out, and just the pacing and everything. And then when you go to Oppenheimer, we're not supposed to like contrast them now, but you go to Oppenheimer, it's just like the most shallow camera, not much movement, nothing's really happening. It's more character story driven.
Yeah.
I'm less invested as a movie than the
It's not art driven.
Yeah, well, I'm watching the movie to see in the world, like seeing the art of film. Like if Oppenheimer, I think the book would probably be better than this because it's a character study, it's a biopic.
Yeah.
But if you're watching fucking the book of Barbie, the book's gonna be shit compared to the movie.
Yeah.
But the Oppenheimer book is probably better than Oppenheimer.
Sure.
I've read the book.
I mean,
but just from the camera perspective, and I don't know, the storytelling of it.
Yeah.
There's more story in the camera in Barbie.
I think.
You know?
Sure.
I think.
But you know more. You know cameras way more than the three of us. So that's the thing.
But just the dynamics of it.
Well, so I think Barbie was a lot more set based.
Well, the Barbenheimer is a huge set.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more scene based.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot more picture based. Right. Oppenheimer is a biopic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more character based.
Yeah.
It's. I think 90% of that movie is close-ups.
Probably.
Yeah.
Even then, you could watch other biopics that still have beautiful camera movement and beautiful craft in them.
Yeah.
Much more so than Oppenheimer. That's just.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen a biopic that I've liked until Oppenheimer.
Really?
We'll talk about it later, but
Yeah, no,
I think biopics are probably the worst genre.
Well,
ever
but
invented.
Nick, what else did you think about Barbie?
I mean, me, it was just camera the whole way through. I thought the camera was fantastic.
It's just the meaning of the movie, just like, well, you know, like whatever.
Well, the meaning, it was there, but it's not like...
The context of the
shock.
movie is just kind of like...
But I mean, I wasn't like, what the fuck, feminism?
Yeah, you were expecting.
Like, I wasn't stunned by the content.
Yeah, it wasn't the feminism, but I was kind of like... The Photoshop joke?
I mean,
that
That was
okay.
fucking hilarious.
This is something we haven't mentioned yet.
What?
Barbie is fucking hilarious.
It was
Oh,
fun.
dude, it's so funny.
Holy fuck, is that movie funny?
That's the thing. The camera work. One of the jokes that come through is through the camera work where Ken's on
I think most people wouldn't get those jokes, though.
I mean, the one here where he's on the beach playing guitar.
Yeah.
And it starts with that scene, and then it dollies back, and there's 10 other guys doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, that was fucking
Like the
funny.
joke's all in the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not.
You're right,
like-
you're actually right. The joke is in the camera,
The
yeah.
camera is the joke, and her even when she gets off and
Mhm.
floats down the building, and then she falls the other time. Those are all camera jokes.
Yeah.
Like even if you take
The Photoshop one wasn't a camera joke, though.
Photoshop wasn't.
No, that
No,
was
that was
good writing.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that fucking funny.
You're right. They are camera jokes.
But yeah, if you compare it to Oppenheimer or something, if you take away jokes and put like content,
Sure.
you're like the content is all textual. It's all talking.
Yeah.
Or idea or something.
So
it's not craft.
we'll get
Big
to
crap.
Oppenheimer after, but
Yeah.
I think. No, we'll get to it. We'll get to that.
I think Barbie had more film craft behind it.
Sure.
Forget meaning, content, anything
Yeah.
like that. I think the craft of it, the filmmaking of it, I think Barbie was better than Oppenheimer.
Okay.
I don't really like Nolan though. I find him kind of, he uses the 5 tricks over and over again.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, that's a
Yeah.
big budget movie. Okay, fun. It's the
Yeah,
same thing
sure,
every time.
sure. I don't know, for me, like, Barbie was just so transcendental.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck? The ending where she, like, actually, one thing I didn't like about the Barbie movie is the very ending.
Yeah.
Where she goes back into the real world's in the truck, and then she's like, I'm gonna see my gynecologist.
Mm.
I'm like, for me, how it should have ended is that when she's talking to Ruth,
Right.
the creator Barbie, and she's just standing there, she's seeing all these memories and flashes, this montage of like women doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have just done that, built up, black, that's the end.
Would have been nice. Yeah.
That I would have liked a lot more. Because that for me, like, that would have been very transcendental for me.
I
Very,
find that whole heaven sequence too with Ruth.
yeah.
I find that also the same thing as like the 2001 intro. It's
Yeah.
so fucking used. You've seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
It's just like a white draw.
I felt that
on
way
the back.
too.
You're going, come on, you can come up with something. Fucking. The movie's so good.
Yeah.
And these two
The-
bookends
the-
are so shit.
I did not like the ending of
No.
Barbie at all.
Really?
No.
Like the last line or just the ending?
The whole,
last 10 minutes,
yeah.
maybe, yeah.
The whole
First
her
10
talking,
minutes.
her talking to Ruth and being like, "Oh, I want to be human" and stuff like that. I was like to me, it felt a little too on the nose. It felt like
It's on the nose for you though. Like, see, and
Okay.
I reminded, I was,
You gotta watch Ending of Evangelion.
I was constantly reminded. I was constantly reminded, and this is gonna sound really weird. I was constantly reminded by Joker the entire movie, and the reason is because
Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
yeah,
Okay.
and the reason is because
Shocker.
So Todd Phillips Joker.
well, yeah, and because and the reason is because a lot of people who went to go see Joker
Yes.
don't go watch movies or
Yes.
have not seen movies.
Or don't think about.
Don't think about
Yeah, yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Like most people who went to see
Saying
Joker,
the same thing with Barbie.
same thing with Barbie.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
you have to kind of like people will think a pool is deep if they've never been to an ocean.
Yeah.
That's a quote that they said when someone reviewed that on Letterboxd and gave it like 3
Nice.
stars on Joker. Anyway, that was the review for Joker. But
no, I get it. It's like
but it's
here's
true.
the spoon, let me feed you.
It's true. You can't like a lot of. I remember when Joker came out, a lot of people were like, "Whoa, what do you mean the rich people are bad?" Like, it's like no, but for some people and for some girls, in this movie, Barbie was rated PG-13.
Yeah.
A lot of parents probably took their daughters and children to go see Barbie.
Yeah, they don't
Oh,
get those
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
They
tropes.
don't get their tropes until they will. And I
Right.
think that's important. And I think Greta Gerwig and Baumbach and even Mattel and Warner Brothers, at a certain extent, understand that their legacy lives on through iconography,
Mm.
visuals, and at a certain point, kids are going to realize, oh, Barbie is just a stepping stone into Chilatova's Daisies,
Right.
you know, or Corinne's Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
Like, that's a stepping stone. By the way, Harmony Korine should direct the Bratz movie, and that's my opinion.
That would be sick.
That would be fucking awesome.
We did. Hold up. we did Spring Breaker. That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh, it's
I
awesome.
love
It's,
it.
it's, I thought that was your favorite movie.
I love Corinne. I love Spring Breakers.
Dude, Gummo? Top
Yeah.
4.
Shut up.
Top 4 on the list.
So my
Gummo podcast coming one time.
Yes,
but this-
sir!
I
Fucking nags me every week about it. Okay.
I do agree with all of that.
Yeah.
But my problem with the ending of Barbie is that it turned. I feel like it diminished the entire message of the movie
Okay.
into too personal of a story.
Right.
It turned the entire movie, instead of being this movie about feminism and about women being empowered and about equality in society and about, you know, the fucking post-capitalist world we live in. It turned all of that into an individual's struggle to find their place in society. And to me, that purpose of finding your individual place in society is inherently capitalistic.
That's very true.
Wow.
That's a great observation. But that's you see, that's why I don't like the kind of
Wow.
So that's what I didn't like about
Really
it.
capitalistic.
Well, yeah, of course. The whole idea of capitalism is
Maybe it's
individualistic.
Randian, but it's not capitalistic.
No, but like, the whole idea of capitalism
Sure,
is
but
to be
Very
individualistic.
fountainheadish. Yeah.
Sure, but framed in a Barbie movie, how can it not be
I
capitalistic?
guess, but
Yeah.
the thing is, but it's more because, like, think of it this way. Women are the object of men's desires at a certain point, right? In art history,
Sure. Yeah.
right? And it's like, she said that she does not want to be the idea, she wants to be the one with ideas.
Yes.
At a certain point, I think she speaks for all women, for lack of a better phrasing here,
Yeah.
when it says that, like, I don't want to be objectified, I want to be more than just an object.
Yes.
I think it's not capitalistic. I mean, the thing is we're only thinking about it as capitalism because the movie is called Barbie by
Right.
Mattel.
Yeah.
Right? The movie is Mattel. It's
So,
not. It's
yeah.
not Daisies. Daisies has kind of more or less the same subtext of the women finding their place in society, but the place that they chose is perhaps their demise. But the point is, it's still individualistic.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm making sense
No,
here.
for
but-
sure. I mean,
yeah.
and absolutely. I mean, I'm me
In
as a,
defense of Greta.
as a person, I am hyper anti-capitalism.
Right, okay.
So through my own perception of this film, it's natural for me to
Right.
interpret it that way.
No, for sure.
So yes, absolutely, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But to me, a person claiming that they no longer want to be the idea that is objectified, they want to be the person coming up with the ideas, inherently sounds like
Okay, yeah.
the pitch of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, big things coming.
right,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Well, it's not just that, but like the whole thing with capitalism and communism is like capitalism's the whole idea of the West and capitalism is to be an individual, not part of the group.
Yeah.
You're thinking about yourself, not the group, right? That's the big difference.
No, for sure. I think
Philosophically, like underlaying philosophically of capitalism and communism, this is the big difference, you know?
True.
And again, I'm also staunchly an idealist.
Okay.
So I adhere to these concepts completely idealistically.
See, I'm a
Yeah.
complete cynic.
So it's completely natural for me, I feel, to see that interpretation. But that was my main problem with the ending.
I think.
But okay, but you know what I said about the gynecology ending?
Yeah.
If it stopped where I said I wanted to stop, would
Yeah.
would you feel the same way?
Yes. To me, the gynecology ending was just like a.
What's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was purely just to end the movie on a high note
Yeah.
because that scene with Barbie and Ruth
Would've
was
been
way too existential
Yeah,
for
okay.
a PG-13 movie.
Okay, yeah, sure.
For a Barbie Mattel
Yeah, just for
corporate.
people
Sure.
in
Yeah.
general.
So that gynecology end to me could have easily has been a post-credit scene.
I think
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think that was
just
Mattel's
a
doing.
joke.
I think that was Mattel's doing for sure.
Yeah, I like what you said. You said in defense of Greta for the ending, but I mean, I have a funny feeling the beginning and the ending were things from the producers added on after, saying, I don't know, we have to get some kind of story, we have to explain it to people somehow, and we have to have a nice tight ending.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that was the director's
Well-
intention to have this beginning and end. Because
It didn't
I
feel
don't
like
know.
a Greta.
They stood out.
It didn't feel
Really?
like oh
No.
god, the gynecologist thing did not even feel like bomb.
No, the gynecology, no. But I mean, Little Woman, like Greta spends half the movie of Little Woman claiming that women don't need a romantic ending.
Right.
But then she gives Saoirse Ronan a romantic ending.
Yeah, but
To me, that and even Lady Bird, the whole thing is a coming of age story, and it's that coming of age stories aren't supposed to have some big happy rainbow ending. But then the last scene of the movie is her calling her mom, and it's to me it's very
But that's
optimistic.
not happy rainbow. That's literally just coming to terms with the fact that you live this life with that mother.
Okay, sure.
It's not like I mean.
I don't know. To me, it did feel
depends.
better. Not the gynecology
Depends.
thing.
Like
That shtick, the gynecology thing. to
that
me,
was Warner Brothers and Mattel.
That just seemed like a big. Let's end this off with a big joke. And
Yeah, because to Dante's point, like I'm sorry, but if I took my daughter at 8 years old, 10 years old to go watch the Barbie movie, and all of a sudden I'm seeing Shinji getting to the robot, I would also be like, yeah, sorry, kiddo, I don't know what the hell to make of this movie either.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like yeah.
And you know, that's one thing I actually liked a lot about the Barbie movie. Was towards the end when Ken wanted to kiss her and she didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Which is crazy because I think every time we've ever watched a romance together, you and I, you have consistency.
I always
they
want-
better fucking kiss.
Yeah. Usually when I watch, because I'm a cheesy motherfucker, right? Whenever I watch romances, and it's like a good romance, I want them to kiss.
Yeah.
But you see, like in the movie we watched the other day with Moon Sky and You,
Yeah.
it's like they have a mutual thing going here.
Yeah.
In Barbie, she clearly doesn't want to be with this guy, and Ken's like all about her, right?
Yes.
And I love it because it's like. It's not that like I didn't even get a friend zone feeling from her. I just feel like when I was watching Barbie, I just had the feeling that like she doesn't fucking owe it to you, you know?
Yeah.
And she was explicitly not friend zoning him. Explicitly just
Explicitly
being
not.
like, nah, dude.
But they're also Barbies, so they can't really have sex. But the thing is too is like I liked it because the thing is if they did kiss, it would undermine
Yeah.
the entire meaning of the movie.
Yeah. I think
You know,
I agree. That was
I would no longer like her
It's
as a
an
director.
amazing decision. Yeah.
I would, because I feel like to your point before, and to your point is that she still gets a romantic ending, or she still gets a happy-go-lucky ending kind of with her mother.
She didn't get the romantic, she got the empowered ending.
Yeah. Not only that, but I feel Ken also got an empowered ending in the sense that like you do not have to be your girlfriend. You do not have to
Yes.
be Your life does not have to revolve around another person. You have to make it yourself.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, stop being codependent, okay?
the whole it's Barbie and it's Ken. That's pretty. I mean, for unfortunate incels who did not understand the point of the movie is no. But I mean, I'm sorry, but a lot of people I know.
Like, the incels are mad they didn't kiss.
No, but not only that, the incels are mad. No, it's not they didn't kiss. It's they're mad Ken didn't get Barbie.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Barbie
that's true.
is a prize in their eyes.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
but again, to
That's
the
very
movie's point, Margot Robbie is a terrible casting to make the point of this movie. But I'm sorry, but Ryan Gosling is not an incel. Ryan
No.
Gosling has a wife, a happy family.
All the incels really like Ryan Gosling, though.
Right, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have felt. I honestly would have hated the movie if they kissed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
for
think
sure.
I think in the modern dating world of dating apps and fast hookups and all that stuff that people complain about nonstop but still contribute to. This idea that just by communicating with someone you're owed physical compensation
Right. Yeah. No.
is insane.
Yeah.
And I think Gerwig was explicitly trying to
And you
show
know-
that despite an individual's expectations of any given scenario, you can't defy anybody else's perspective and emotions and feelings. Like, I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
your own freedoms end at the expense of another person's freedoms.
For sure.
Yeah, and the thing is, in the real world, most of the time, it's the men that feel entitled to that.
Right, exactly.
100%.
Yeah. So I agree that giving Barbie that power to just be like,
No.
hold the phone, this ain't it, was exactly to that point, I felt.
Yeah.
You saying we're not going to kiss after this podcast?
Well, I mean, we'll call cut and we'll see what happens.
But yeah. I thought it was an incredible movie.
The soundtrack slaps.
The soundtrack was good.
Soundtrack's really
I
good.
prefer the soundtrack for Oppenheimer, but we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I did not like the soundtrack.
I like some songs.
Barbie or
I liked
Oppenheimer?
the score to Barbie.
Okay.
I did not like the soundtrack.
Did you prefer
No,
Oppenheimer?
I don't think
Yeah.
there's a score to
Really?
Barbie. Is there a score to Barbie?
Nah, it's pretty much the soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's kind of the joke. And Oppenheimer has no score, it's just soundtrack. Or the other way around.
It's just score.
It's just score, yeah.
I prefer the soundtrack for Oppenheimer
Well, yeah.
than Barbie, but Barbie has some good hits. Like I like the
Dude,
Charlie
there's like
Six one.
5 good songs.
I'm so happy Pink Panthers was on it, and not just like Lizzo and these big motherfuckers, you know.
What about?
I wish Kira Bonito was on the soundtrack.
Oh, dude. Fuck, I love Kira Bonita.
Yeah,
And genuinely, I feel like that group was made
to do the Barbie movie.
to fucking do the music for a movie like this.
Well, in the sequel, when they talk about sweatshops, you know?
Yeah.
What about the Oppenheimer soundtrack? Do you like?
Okay, well, let's get there when we get there. So does anyone have any last thoughts on Barbie before we
Oh no, I
hop
just
into Oppenheimer?
fucking loved it. I loved how deep it was. I loved how meaningful it was. I thought it was nuts.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it again. It was fucking fire. And
Oh yeah, rewatchability.
and you like, bro, we're gonna have to watch it again together because we're just gonna piss our pants the whole
Oh
time.
yeah, it's hilarious. It's a funny movie.
This guy almost bailed on watching Barbie with us. But I was like, dude, if there's one motherfucker that needs to
Well,
watch Barbie,
okay. In my
it's him.
defense, I have
Because
played for
Cat-
Link's hair, and Link's hair is shoddy. So you know,
Shout out to Link there.
shout out Link's
New
hair.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Anyways, this guy's favorite movie is The Cat in the Hat.
Dude, it's awesome.
Academically, his favorite movie. And I'm like, if there's one motherfucker that's come watch Barbie, it's you, and you're not allowed to fucking.
I was very happy. I was very happy.
Yeah.
Anyone who loves Cat in the Hat, my cat heads, go watch Barbie.
You have anything other to say about Barbie other than I like how we're getting to these deep philosophical shit. You're just like, oh, camera go fast.
I'm not bothered
Oh,
about the
camera
message. I'm not bothered about the message. I don't care about people talking
Cardinals
and shit. I want to hear them with the focus. I want to see a tight focus. Good movement. But I think more of my ideas are more comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end, I think more. I'm going to talk more about the two together.
So
Okay.
that was going to be my closing thought, was that I did love Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have loved it more if Barbenheimer wasn't a meme.
Okay.
I would probably.
I might not. But the thing is, I might not have watched it if it weren't for the meme.
Oh, I would watch anything Greta Gerwig puts out.
Oh,
But if
yeah.
I probably, I think
I'd recommend you do. Take the time.
both. That's it.
Go watch it
I
alone.
think both movies would have digested
Yeah.
better if I watched them
It's
at least a week in between.
Separate experiences.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, when you saw them again, did you see them again back to back?
No,
Or
no. I
different
saw
days?
Barbie on Tuesday, and then I saw Oppenheimer on Saturday.
Yeah.
And believe me when I say this, it is a completely different viewing experience, and you're sucked into each movie separately.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's
Completely.
what I.
You're not getting off the high of Barbie, and then watching Oppenheimer and being like, "What do you mean it blew up?" You know? It's
Yeah.
Did you like both more or both?
I love both. Okay, I enjoyed both when we went together,
Mhm.
but I enjoyed both very much on my second viewing of both.
Anyways, we're back. We did a little intermission. You're probably not going to notice we did it. We cut it, you know.
Yeah,
but
we don't have
did it.
sponsors, so we can't break to anything.
Yeah. So we had to plug in the shits, you know, do all
I'll
that
cut in
thing.
a Chevy commercial.
Fucking
Some Chevy
yeah.
Oh, just the,
SUVs.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so we talked about Barbie. Now we're going to talk about Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what'd you guys think about Oppenheimer? I fucking thought it was great. Great biopic. But for me, it did not transcend the film like Barbie did.
Yeah, I mean, even as a biopic, though, I found it not a great biopic.
Really?
Yes, I mean, maybe it was Nolan's more style, the way he's fucking going between timelines so much. I don't mind the jumping between timelines, but I didn't feel it so justified to go back and forth so many
Sure.
times. So, and like, I found the scene where he's in the interrogation room,
Yeah.
it was the same thing. Over and over again.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
This is
You
Nolan's
didn't
best
need that
movie
much.
to me.
You found Memento
Me too.
and fucking...
So I haven't
Following?
seen. I have not seen Memento. I have
Mhm.
not seen Following.
Followers, maybe?
I haven't even.
You
followed
watched
that.
Interstellar,
That
though.
one is
I've seen
sick.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
I've seen Inception. I've seen
Mhm.
the Dark Knight trilogy. I've seen Tenet.
Yeah.
I have not
I
seen
didn't see
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk was fucking good, too.
I found it the complete opposite of this movie, Dunkirk. I
So
thought
here's-
Dunkirk- Oop, shit.
So here's. I haven't seen, like I said, those movies by Nolan. And before we went into Oppenheimer,
Mhm.
I said that to me, Christopher Nolan doesn't make fantastic movies.
He
makes-
does.
He
definitely
makes
does.
he makes good movies and he makes large movies.
He makes well
Yeah.
done movies.
He makes movies
They're
for the big
blockbusters.
screen.
Yeah.
He makes movies for IMAX audio. He makes big
Theater
movies.
Theater
Yeah.
In terms of scale, he makes big movies, which is appealing to anyone who likes cinema. Yes, I agree. I love watching his movies. Genuinely, I have never not enjoyed his movies.
If you go to
Yeah.
Following, though, that's a small movie.
Okay,
It's fully different.
so but does he make like great artistic, movies that change the world of cinema? No, I don't think so. Is he? I think, in terms of technicality, in terms of the way, but then again, he's consistently had. I think Nolan's greatest achievement is knowing who to hire.
Actor-wise
he
or camera-wise?
he has
Oh.
consistently had amazing editors,
Mhm.
amazing cinematographers.
Well, that's the thing. His movie is editing. All
Yes,
this stuff
exactly.
is
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the camera work is not shining. Maybe
I don't know, dude. Oppenheimer was fucking sick. Front to back, I think every
Yeah.
shot in that movie was composed immaculately.
If it is, you're talking like shallow camera, the shallow angle of the
Everything.
cameras and stuff. I'm thinking, even that like the camera is so shallow that like more than half the image
Yeah.
is blurred out and that.
Yeah.
I found still the focus pulling on it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Normally, you always want to keep the guy's iris, in focus. And it was going back and forth. You guys saw the guy's nose a bit and going
Yeah.
back and forth. And when he would look up or something,
Yeah.
the focus would shift a bit.
So
but
when you pair that with
Mhm.
with the occasional vibration of still images in the movie, the best example is when he's on the train talking to Groves, right? General? Was
Yep,
he
General Groves.
General
Yeah.
Groves. When he's talking to General Groves.
Damon!
Yes. He's talking to Groves on the train, and his image is still, but in the background, the bench he's sitting on is vibrating, and the focus is changing.
that was cool. Yeah.
And I think consistently throughout the film, the whole point of that is to play into the whole quantum probability world. And yes, my background is in physics, so I'm very partial to all of the intricacies of this film, which is, I think, probably why I'm so biased towards it. But to me, all of those things played into that, and they played well into it.
Yeah, but, like, those effects are sick. I
Yeah.
did like it, and I like when it overexposes for a second.
Yes.
When the climax of the scene is happening.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Those are fun tricks. But, like, the actual technique of it, where it's such a shallow camera, and you can't quite get it right in focus, that just gave me a little bit of a, you could have won 2 f-stops down.
Okay.
Maybe it was
Kind
deliberate.
of more.
Well,
Maybe, but
It
I mean,
feels like, because it was.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It was so consistent that screw up.
Yeah.
I think it was just part of the movie.
But, like,
So I think I forgot to bring my glasses to the viewing,
okay.
so to me the whole thing was out of focus.
Okay.
And I only realized this. I only got glasses last year, and I only realized recently because I love going to the theater. I love watching movies on the big screen. I only noticed from the day I started wearing glasses to the theater that wow, these look good.
Sure.
Like I always went to the movies for the big experience, but always felt like, why is it so blurry? and now I
It's a bit
know.
blurrier though on the big screen.
And
It's a
now,
little blurrier.
and now it's a lot less blurry than I used to be.
Okay, but wait. So you're blind and you're also colorblind. So did you even see any of the pink in Barbie?
No,
Pink is my best color.
But you don't see greens and stuff like that.
So I have a red-green deficiency. It's complicated. Both movies, in terms of color palette, were perfect for me.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Well, I mean,
Because Barbie was all pink and yellow, which is
Yeah.
easy for me to see. And the yellows were always associated with... There's so much pink, everything was easy for me to see. Because
Yeah.
color blindness, in terms of a deficiency, is explicitly in terms of color palette and context.
okay.
That's why
But
color blindness...
Oppenheimer, you saw it perfectly too?
Yeah, I mean, half of it was in black and white, the other half was almost sepia. A third was black
Well,
and white.
very orange and
A
dark,
third
dark,
was
dark
almost
blues.
sepia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other third was all very orangey. So the color... Both
Well, it was a
movies-
classic Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean, what did you guys think about the shifting palettes?
I loved it. I did. It was
I
very
liked
important
it.
to the storytelling.
I found the
Yes.
black and white part was too overexposed. I could think it could have been darker.
Yeah.
The black and white parts.
Well, was it justified to go
It-
back
it
so,
had
So,
to
so
go
here's,
often?
and I think
And
I think
I-
we're
yeah.
we're about to have the same opinion here. Is that so? The movie starts with a split in 2 perspectives.
Yeah.
Right. Fission, Oppenheimer's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Fusion, Strauss's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And that perspective is deeper in terms of title than just titling them in terms of nuclear reactions.
Yeah.
But the choice to frame Strauss's perspective in black and white is to show that this very political figure's opinions and worldviews were black and white.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
saw the world in black and white.
Yeah.
And he saw the world as overexposed in terms of his own perspective being altruistically the correct opinion.
Yeah.
Right? This character is framed throughout the film as being someone who's very stubborn, very hard-headed, and just very staunchly his own person.
Yeah.
Right? Like, his downfall is his hubris. He's an extremely prideful character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the exposure and the filtering of the scenes given his perspective play towards that.
I think that's probably pretty correct.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I actually read somewhere that maybe this is completely off, but from my understanding of what I've read from some post is that what was black and white is actually objective fact that happened,
Oh.
and what was not in black and white is subjective to Oppenheimer's existence.
Oh, interesting.
So that's why when Einstein and Oppenheimer talking, that's not in black and white, that's in color. But when we see Oppenheimer and Einstein meeting, that actually happened, and that's in black and white. Because all these hearings were not televised, but documented
Yes.
things, whereas, the closed hearing, God knows what was actually said.
Sure. That's
So
interesting.
maybe this
I,
is...
mean, I think it plays with your point, though.
Yeah,
I think
exactly,
those
for sure.
things
But maybe
your point.
it's
Yeah.
completely off from what I read as an article.
It makes sense.
But
though. It makes sense.
apparently, what was
Yeah.
black and white actually happened,
Yeah.
and what wasn't black and white is up to subjective
Yeah.
opinion.
Well, I'd have to... You've watched it twice. I'd have to rewatch it. I'm not sure.
Seriously, watch it. Seriously, watch it separately.
But the first time, from what I remember, and I could be wrong, correct me if I am, when the first time Oppenheimer and Einstein meet by the lake, when he's interviewing to join the nuclear commission,
Yeah, the Avengers. Yeah.
that's in black and white. Because it's being
Yes.
spoken through
So it's-
Strauss's.
so
effect.
Strauss.
Black and
Yeah.
white.
So that. So okay. When I mean like what was objectively happening is
Yeah.
more like Strauss and Oppenheimer met at that place for sure.
Because no one actually knows what Einstein.
God knows what they actually
Okay,
said.
I see, I
but
see,
the
I
point
see.
is that they actually met there.
Yes.
He was there.
Okay.
He was with Strauss. And this whole idea that Strauss was petty
Yeah.
is actually documented proof. Like there's
Yeah, yeah,
people coming out of like, yeah, Strauss not hated, but like Strauss was pretty petty against Oppenheimer and all that. And yeah, I think it really helps the movie's storytelling. And honestly, it's kind of a callback. I mean, you haven't seen it, but it's a callback to Memento. Black and white was
Yeah, it's true. That's very
black
true.
and white of the past, of what happened prior to events, is the calling card for Christopher Nolan.
Well, but here's the thing: is that in this movie, the black and white stuff is the most recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The furthest in the past we go, the more color there actually is.
But Nolan, even in Memento, he switches between black and white a lot.
Oh yeah.
over
Yeah, a lot.
very often.
I was thinking it the same way as you're like, it's
Yeah.
either you're a communist or you're not a communist. Was that?
Oh,
was
sure.
what I was
Okay,
thinking
yeah.
more.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's the black and white.
Okay.
But even then, I found the black and white more of just a tool to use to like spice up the images
Yeah.
more. Because I mean, it could have been all color, and then I mean, I didn't love the movie maybe
Yeah.
as much as everyone else, but I went, oh, okay, at least there's something visual.
But the bringing down some parts as black and white elevates the color parts,
spiced
right?
it up a little bit more.
Because if it was all color, it'd be all beautiful, but like it's showing the contrast, you know?
Yeah. Even then, there's no flash between them. You go,
Right.
okay, here's a scene in office, here's a scene at the table, here's a scene at the fucking
Yeah.
Alamo, you know. But now there's a little shift. You go, oh, now it's black and white. Now it's a little more in this. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even just
Yeah.
in terms of dialogue writing, if you look at all the black and white scenes, the scenes, think back to the scenes where you hear Oppenheimer talking about his opinions. All of the scenes where he's doing that in black and white are the ones that are framed at that round table meeting of the nuclear commission
yeah,
through Strauss's perspective.
Mhm.
And Oppenheimer's opinions and literally the words he says are explicitly less nuanced. They're more straight
Factual.
fact,
Yeah.
black and white,
It's true.
which reflects the use of the black and white filter.
Mhm.
And then when you fall back into the color version, or the color interpretation, which is Oppenheimer's reflection of the events, then you get much more depth in thoughts and moral confusion and all that stuff.
But here's where I find a fucking a kind of inconsistency there,
Okay.
because I feel like if thematically
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's perspective, especially at the end of the movie, is much darker. You know, all the grief and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be in color anymore.
Well, so this is the black and white, the use of black and white isn't to make the film
moody.
moody. It's explicitly to express Strauss's perspective of the world as black and white, as binary, as right and wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of that almost the same way as like the intro and ending to Barbie, though, where it's a little too in your face.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to do it. I don't know. There's other ways you can kind of spice these things up or get these ideas across.
But I also think
It's cooler.
Yeah.
It's cool enough, but I mean,
yeah. But I
we've
also
seen
think
this movie. It's not a new fucking thing. It's like changing aspect ratios or something.
Yeah.
That's a new fucking thing.
for Christopher Nolan,
Mhm.
who's made Dunkirk, which
Yeah.
I haven't seen, but I can imagine with like
Yeah.
Tenet,
Yeah.
Interstellar,
Mm-hmm.
Inception,
Dark Knight.
for Dark Knight, for a director who's made these movies to now come in and make a 3-hour-long movie that is essentially 3 people having a conversation for 3 hours.
That went by really quickly, by the way. 3 hours? Holy shit, that flew by.
I agree.
That was
But-
not 3 hours.
But for him, for a director like Nolan to make this type of movie, where the only action is a bomb test,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to create such
tension.
tension
Yeah.
and such a dynamic
Oh,
environment,
Yeah.
he kind of needed to use these varied color palettes. Because otherwise, for him as a director, it would be boring.
I guess so. Yeah.
What's the fucking movie he did with the magician movie?
Oh,
Prestige.
Prestige.
Yeah, I found this a lot like the Prestige.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot of talking, a lot of the same sets, but that I found maybe a little more interesting than Oppenheimer. But it could have been just the biopic thing, more of a fiction. You know.
And again, I find Oppenheimer. You know, I'm biased.
Mm-hmm.
This is my shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I studied Oppenheimer in school.
Okay.
I've known his biography for years, and I've always felt like, you know, even before. I mean, there's a reason why the person who wrote his biography named it Prometheus.
Okay.
American Prometheus.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's, and anyone who knows Oppenheimer and also knows Greek mythology has felt that connection.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this movie is like almost a perfect modern retelling of a Greek myth while simultaneously being the best biopic I've ever seen.
Okay. That's interesting you say that because you're coming from an Oppenheimer one and I'm coming from the Nolan one.
Right.
And you like it and I
Yeah.
don't like it. But I'm thinking more of Nolan like that.
See,
I'm thinking more.
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Right. So I watched the number file. You know. So I know everything about physics, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I like movies.
You're a savant.
I'm a savant. Yes. Basically, Albert Einstein reincarnate.
Yeah.
But the thing, so there are like I did not like Oppenheimer as much as I did Barbie, but it was an amazing movie. I found it an amazing biopic, probably the best biopic I've ever seen.
Yep.
I have a couple problems. I have a couple problems with Oppenheimer. My biggest problem is that I found the way they retold this dynamic between Strauss and Oppenheimer very confusing. There was a point in the movie where I did not understand why Strauss, like the whole legal hearing thing.
Yeah.
There was a point in the movie where I did not understand what was going on. At one point they were friends and she was trying to get him into his like institute, and then they're like testifying against each other, and then all this other stuff. As someone who doesn't know Oppenheimer's biography, I don't know what happened. I just know what happened because of the movie. I was very confused at a certain point.
Yeah.
I think I know where your confusion stems. Is it wasn't said properly. The sound mixing I think was a little off at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Oppenheimer called Strauss a lowly shoe salesman.
Sure.
Throughout the movie after that, we learned that Oppenheimer also humiliated Strauss by making jokes about like fishing.
No, I know.
But the thing is that it wasn't as impactful as we should have seen.
Yeah,
it.
because this is what I'm getting to, right?
Yeah.
The whole movie was kind of centered around two things, right? It was centered around this journey Oppenheimer is having making the bomb, and it's paralleled with this hearing, right? Or what's happening with the two hearings. The two hearings, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I feel like the plot of the movie is really centered around these hearings.
Yeah.
And kind of the journey of making the bomb is kind of just like
Context.
the context of these hearings that is being told to us, right? At the same time, in parallel. And for me, like the hearings, I don't give a fuck about these hearings. When at the end of the movie, when Oppenheimer, you remember when he was like giving a speech to like the people in the stands
At Los Alamos.
at Los Alamos.
Yeah.
And then at one point it turns white and they all turn into like victims of a nuclear bomb essentially. And this is kind of when the grief starts hitting him. I feel like that should have been the important part of the movie. I feel like that was the more interesting than these hearings.
Yeah.
See, well, I felt like it was.
I don't feel like it was enough.
To me, the trials, his trial for his update on his security clearance to be part of the Nuclear Committee of America.
Who gives a fuck about that?
No,
That's the thing, right?
So to me, that and Strauss's what was it? His fucking committee hearing to be part of the presidential committee or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about Strauss, to be honest. But whatever that fucking was, to me that was B plot.
Well, but no, it's not, because the thing is, one, there was not enough of him feeling that grief, and especially cinema-wise.
Oh, okay. See, and this is I have to staunchly disagree with you.
Really?
Because, like I said earlier, 90% of the film is fucking Cillian Murphy close-ups
Yeah.
of him just expressing the deepest grief I've ever seen on camera.
No, but he still does it.
Even then, I don't even think.
But that's it.
And
He still does it.
the grief is not shown to us, I feel, as much.
But grief isn't
Like,
shown.
I'm not talking about like a little bit of grief. I'm talking about like extreme existential dread, like he does at the end of the movie.
So here's where
Once he actually realizes, like
Yes.
after the bomb test, where it goes silent, that is the true moment of realization for Oppenheimer in the movie.
yes.
Of him realizing what the fuck he's just created, right?
I mean,
And I feel like from there, had to show a lot more existential grief. And the reason I say this is because who's the antagonist of the movie?
No one.
I mean Strauss.
It's Strauss.
Yeah.
He is framed as the
He's framed as the antagonist.
Okay, fine.
Until like the last 5 minutes, though.
Yes.
Because I think the last 5 minutes it switches. I think you think Oppenheimer is like playing off. Because that's how I kind of felt it. That's the
Oh,
weird
I
thing
See,
kinda
I didn't
liked
think
about
that. I felt like
I felt
Strauss was the antagonist all the way to the end.
No, I
the
felt
movie.
like
Well, yeah,
Strauss was
until the
just
very last bit when he's in the room yelling at the other guy. Going,
No, the whole hearing was centered around him.
I know. I felt Strauss was just kind of like, there was these two parts to the story. There was no
No, I know,
wrong or right.
but the way it's filmed, you feel like Strauss is the
He's
antagonist.
supposed to be the bad guy.
He's supposed to be the bad guy.
If you have the
For
architect.
for the layman
Or even-
cinema-goer.
Sure, I mean, but
fucking
again, I
the
didn't
other
feel
guy.
that. I didn't feel that until it was explicitly shown where Strauss broke composure.
But when he broke composure, I felt more connected to Strauss than I did to Oppenheimer.
Oh, really?
That's when I kind of started liking the movie. Like, I loved the first fucking 40 minutes and the last 40 minutes. And the middle hour 20, you cut that out, you put the two, I go, that's
Well,
it.
That's how I felt about. That's how I felt about.
Barbie.
Barbie.
The second we found out that Strauss is behind all these hearings,
Yeah.
that's when I felt like he turned into the antagonist of the film.
Did
Yes.
anyone else feel that
That's
that
what
was
I'm saying.
kind of obvious?
Well, it's not that it was obvious. It's more like what the point I'm trying to get at is he shouldn't have been the antagonist film.
No, like in the sense that, like, oh yeah, it was Strauss that gave him the patient.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think,
Yeah.
I think that made him more human, I found.
No,
And
but
I was thinking
Oppenheimer's own self should have been the antagonist of the film,
Well, I find
not
not
some other entity.
Oh, his
Yeah.
ego is.
So-
Yeah, is that-
Not the
his
ego.
downfall.
I'm not even talking about I'm not talking about the ego.
His id.
No, but
I'm not talking about ego in. Shut the fuck up. I'm talking about like this very like modernist thing, you know?
But I mean, at the end of
Like
the
being
movie,
like the antagonist is your own self. Like it's like Tony Soprano, you know? He's the antagonist of his own
But
story.
that's my point. I'm actually not trying to make a joke here. It is his id and ego
Yes.
that is his downfall.
But I'm
It's
not
his
talking about the
self-importance.
downfall. The
Like,
downfall is not important to me.
But Lawrence
What's
in the
important to me-
movie, Lawrence is like, you're not just self-important. You're fucking important.
No, I know, but I'm not talking about his downfall. I'm talking about the what actually happens to him and the grief. Like I feel like after the bomb test, when he starts actually feeling the grief of what he's created,
Yeah.
I feel like for me, what I wanted, what I ideally wanted, was him to be in those hearings, and everyone's be muffled, and it's just like Charlie Brown talking. He's not even focusing on it, and he's just like existential dread on the inside.
yeah, but that
Yeah.
would be good. But I don't think he felt that. I think what we're supposed to feel for the last 5 minutes is that he felt it for 2 minutes. Says, "Fuck, what did I do?" And then he's like, "Wait a second, I made the atomic bomb. I'm a fucking smart guy. I'm a superstar." Then he
I guess so.
plays it, you know.
But that for me made it.
like
yeah,
his-
you know,
I
they
like
go, he's,
his-
he's playing a martyr. He's just playing a martyr.
Yeah,
But see,
I totally, yeah, I
he's
relate to
making it
that
up the
point.
whole time.
See, so
But you
here's
see, then they shouldn't have put in those actual parts where he does
Yes.
feel that crazy.
So here's where I agree with you, Dante. I think the movie failed in that they presented this image of Oppenheimer as too much of a martyr. The movie was too forgiving.
Oh, absolutely.
The movie,
But it is an American movie.
Yeah,
we
right,
don't get
exactly.
any other
Yes,
perspective.
the
Like,
movie.
I don't know
the
how the
movie-
fuck they marketed this movie in Japan.
Right.
They're not.
And I'm not trying to,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying this as a
It's
joke.
it's Godzilla
I'm
3.
seriously not doing this as a bit. I'm sorry. This is a
No,
scientist
yeah.
that built the fucking bomb that
Yeah.
blew up Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, we have to understand as moviegoers that this actually happened.
Yeah, but the thing is too, it's like how many movies did we watch in Fantasia where the fucking person wanted to kill themselves?
Well, yeah, but that's
Everyone.
You know,
it's the
everyone.
running gag with indie movies.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's like if I were Oppenheimer and I invented a bomb and I caused that many people to die, fuck, I fucking want to kill myself.
Or you
So,
be like, to Nick's point,
I think he saw himself on Time Magazine when I'm a fucking superstar.
There you go.
I know, but that's not in the movie though.
but
No, but at the
oh,
end,
no,
at the
it's
very
shown.
end, they mentioned
It's shown. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He cheats on his wife. He has multiple lovers. He's a sociopath by
I know,
nature.
but then if it was like that, they shouldn't have the parts where he does have that insane amount of grief.
That's what I mean. It's too forgiving.
Yeah.
I think the movie frames Oppenheimer as a martyr.
Yeah.
And instead, it should have played both sides more
Absolutely.
honestly.
It should have played Oppenheimer like as if a villain.
That's what I'm saying. It shows...
Not even a villain of the movie, a villain in general.
Because he is. Because and that's the thing.
Of course
the whole
he's
the whole conflict is, yes, Oppenheimer is responsible for creating the nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
And the entire defense is in the West. Well, someone would have done it first.
yeah,
So it's better us than someone else.
sure.
As, sorry to say, as a completely anti-American person, it should have been someone else.
It's
That's
not.
doesn't
Well,
matter.
Russian
Anyone but
science.
America, I think America's the worst. That's beyond the point. What
But-
I think the movie fails to do is give the moral ambiguity for Oppenheimer to not be a martyr, but to be a genuine coin flip.
Sure.
To end the movie on a note that leaves the viewer wondering, did he actually do the right thing? Because the movie ends, I think, objectively claiming
That America did the right thing.
that Oppenheimer and exactly as an extension, America did the right
Because
thing.
the thing is,
Yes.
I do have the opinion, because I'm also pretty. I'm kind of a capitalist guy, but I am pretty anti-American like you. I fucking hate America. But the thing is,
Malaysian pride.
Malaysian pride. Shout out to all Malaysian viewers out there.
All from Malaysia. baby.
Indonesia.
Yeah, boy.
Indonesia.
You like Thailand, baby? Me too.
Anyways, the thing. What was I gonna say? I completely lost what I was gonna say.
Anti-American.
You were anti-American.
Anti-American.
More capitalistic than.
Well, it's not even that. Like, it's just like, well, yeah. So, I do think that they should have created the bomb strictly for leverage. How do you say it? There's a term for it, brinksmanship, right?
Never heard of it.
Or ace in a hole.
Well, brinksmanship is sportsmanship.
Sure.
Brinksmanship, the world on the brink,
Oh, okay.
the brink of civilization.
Oh, okay.
Brinksmanship is the idea that I have bombs, you have bombs. I have bombs just so you don't throw my bombs at me.
Right.
Your bombs at me, because if you throw your bombs at me, I'm throwing them at you.
Well, that's the Doctor Strangelove.
Well, it's brinksmanship.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Literally, it's what it's called. Because if you throw at me, we're all dying. That's
Yeah,
the thing,
we're
right?
at the brink of nuclear apocalypse.
Exactly.
Right.
When you think of it like this, though, I mean, I don't know.
But the thing is, I know this is not IRL canon, but the thing is like, I feel like, I think they should have created the bomb just for leverage, for brinkmanship, not actually bomb Japan.
That's
Oh,
never
well,
gonna
of course,
happen.
but
You
that's
know,
not the American
But
way.
the thing is,
That's not the American
not only
way,
that,
but-
but not only that, but okay, so I'm not taking sides, but objectively,
Nazi
no. I'm not saying that at all. Objectively speaking, the Japanese did bomb Pearl Harbor first.
Ah, fuck off.
No. I'm not saying like, yes, they should have done this. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, brinksmanship is out the window during wartime, though.
Yeah, but that's.
I'm not
No, it's
saying.
not. It's
I'm
not.
not okay. For my digital footprint, I'm not saying that what we did was right as allies or whatever.
Don't say we.
Okay, I'm not saying what the Americans did was
Yeah.
right, nor what the Japanese did was right, or
We're
whatever.
Canadian. by
I'm
the way.
saying that during wartime, I feel like your opinion.
It's
of
not because
brinksmanship doesn't
Okay, so
exist.
it does. Well,
So here's
let me
where I-
say
okay.
something
Can I-
real quick.
Okay, go for it. You first.
Every
Me
war
first.
since then, brinksmanship has played a big part.
But the only reason is because of Oppenheimer and the
Yeah.
bomb. The
Well, that's
only reason brinksmanship ever
But
existed.
lads, that's what I said.
No, I know, but the
Okay,
thing
but hold
is,
on.
I don't know why
they-
we're on a
They,
tangent right
they
now. That's
say
what I
in the
said.
movie too. They go, we have to make a fucking point here,
Yes.
so that people don't
Yeah,
see
I know.
this again.
Yeah.
We gotta
Okay.
show them.
All
And
right.
that point had to be made in Japan because that was the only country that was still declaring war.
Yeah.
what
but I
really
think-
haunted me. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I was going to agree with you. I think it is because Pearl Harbor, but that's the real.
Yeah, but that's
Yes.
it. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying that because of Pearl Harbor, we
Sure.
have the nuke.
Yeah,
That's
Sure.
it.
They had an excuse. They didn't have a reason.
yeah.
No,
Japan
exactly.
would
But
surrender.
so what I am saying, and we're not going to dive into this at all. I'm going to say this, and we're going to move on.
I'm gay.
Wow.
A country that destroys its own skyscrapers in New York to fuel a war across the seas cannot justify bombing another country for the sake of ending a war that was already won. And let's move on.
I agree. 100%.
That's gonna be an Instagram clip.
So my I mean, look. What
Listen,
haunted me
the
the
war in
most?
Afghanistan, brinkmanship.
What haunted me the most about the entire movie is not the I can't believe it blew up. Oh, we blew up the world. Not that.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the idea that we have to take science as objective truth, and no matter what sociological impacts it'll have, it's for science.
Progress
Because
for the
it's
sake of progress.
Progress for the sake of progress, to me, is the detriment. And I don't believe in much else after life. You know me through CJIP, I'm not a very optimistic person when it comes to the world, when it comes to life, when it comes to existential, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that the whole idea of, like, I'm a scientist and I will study what is cool and interesting. At a certain point, I'm sorry, but the NASA program only exists because of space.
Yeah.
This fear that we're gonna go to war in space.
Well, I'm going to quote...
It's so weird, man. It's like.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'm going to quote who I think is Don DeLillo, but he might have been quoting someone else. But progress for the sake of progress is the ideology of cancer.
Wow.
But I mean, I kind of agree with it though.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
some things you gotta know though.
Yeah.
I mean, without.
Well, it's about being proactive versus reactive, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yes. And but see, here's the thing. In the context of war, reactiveness is what won the war. The Allies didn't invade, breach.
Well, no, they proactively nuked Japan.
No, yes, but I'm saying, World War II was won reactively.
I think World War II was run by Russia.
And hubris.
Yeah.
I think World War II was.
Anyways,
I
let's
think
talk about
World War II
movies instead of fucking geopolitical war
But the thing
ideology.
is, I feel like.
I thought World War II was won by George Soros and Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah, wait, was she alive?
No.
Until it started.
I feel like we have.
Pacific Theater. No, she was the general of Pacific Theater.
I feel like you have to talk about this. I feel like the only way Oppenheimer exists is within that bubble of, like, hey, this actually happened. And if we don't understand that this actually happened, like, I'm sorry, but this, like, I was watching this documentary. It's called The Soul of America. It was on HBO yesterday with John Meacham. That was not a nuke. He was talking about how the American Japanese were completely sent to internment camps.
Thanks, Obama.
Due to what has happened in Pearl Harbor, and to your point, it's reactive. The fact is that there's a lot of stuff that Oppenheimer doesn't talk about, and creating him as a martyr. Yeah, it sees him as a martyr, but it also just kind of sees as, like, we bombed. We already bombed. We didn't do it yet.
Not we,
but
the Americans. We're Canadian.
I'm just saying, I'm saying planet Earth already has enough nukes that within 10 minutes of our lifespan, it all goes away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to Einstein's point, I'm going to butcher this quote completely, and I'm paraphrasing. What he said is, I don't know what World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Sure.
And to me, that, I don't know, I feel like the grief was well shown.
It should have been way more.
Dude.
But in a 3-hour movie,
If he actually felt it, that would be the thing. If he wasn't feeling it.
It's true. Maybe the more fucked up thing is that he didn't feel that much.
Because that's the thing. In all the hearings where he's in that little fucking room and everyone's arguing with him, he's just a piece of shit going, yes, I did that, oh yeah.
Yeah, and he just makes science jokes. And he's just Rick and Morty the whole thing. Like, it's
I don't think he actually felt those feelings, and we only understand that in the last
because
five
he's
minutes.
a sociopath.
But I think...
I didn't feel that.
No.
In the movie, I did not. I felt like
Just the last 5 minutes.
I
When
felt
Strauss
like
breaks.
Oppenheimer, in those last 5 minutes, was maybe playing that role to genuinely try. So Oppenheimer is this character who, for his entire life, has been told explicitly by everyone he's ever met that he's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in his own community, has failed to establish himself as a great thinker because he is, one, completely incompetent experimentally, and secondly, bad at math.
Yeah.
Which for a physicist is insane.
Yeah.
So for him to finally receive concretely, and from the entire world he lives in, the praise that he's been privately awarded is extremely rewarding.
Sure.
And again, I'm fucking assuming a lot here. But, so in those last minutes of his hearing, I think he was at once playing both sides. He was trying to win the hearing, while at the same time establishing himself as a martyr in the case that he would lose the hearing. What he actually genuinely felt is probably either none of the above or a mix of the above.
I don't think he gave a shit about anything.
That's what I'm saying.
In my opinion, then they should have highlighted that.
Yeah. I mean,
But there's no way to confirm that feeling in him. And as
Well, that's why you make it up.
and-
That's why
yeah, but that's what
But see, as a historian, as a writer making a biopic, that is incredibly disingenuous and incredibly disrespectful.
But that's the if.
Sorry,
Yeah,
bro.
but that's if you want.
But
to
it
follow,
is.
That's if you want to follow the source material or what you think it is.
Yeah.
Maybe the artist, if Nolan were one, he would have
Right.
wanted to get a point across or something.
And that's
he would
and that's where I think the
twist
movie
something.
failed.
Yeah.
Is that this movie could have been an incredibly apt metaphor and commentary on weapons manufacturing as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I found
And it failed completely to do
Yeah.
that because it focused so heavily
On the victory of it.
on Oppenheimer and on framing him as a forgivable scientist who did the best he could and did what he thought was right and yada yada yada. And I think it would have been a way better movie if it played more into both sides. If it didn't frame Strauss
sure, yeah.
as a straight villain. If it framed both characters equal.
And to your point as well, but kind of, I feel like what they lacked is, I'm thinking about it now, there's the scene where they're supposed to see what happened in Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Right.
There's a scene where the entire group is watching these slides, but the audience never sees these slides.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes away from the fact that, hey, America bombed an entire country
we don't
twice.
see the gore.
We don't even get to see the gore.
Because that's not what the movie's about.
Because the movie, but
Should have been about it though.
but
That's
it-
what I'm trying
but
to say.
but
Yes.
I don't think.
better
But it's
gore, I think. Yeah.
well, I think what we're trying to do is
Call Cronenberg. Get him on the line.
Get the
I
VHS tape.
think
Come on.
what they're trying to do is they're trying to say like, yeah, this is a terrible moment in American history, but we're never going to show it to you because we don't want people to actually acknowledge what happened.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me.
Well, the weird thing I think about that is that, like, whenever I do talk to my American friends or whatever like that, they fully acknowledge that they bombed Japan and that was a horrible thing to do.
Oh, no, for sure. But the thing is that to the rest of the world, and even to, I'm sorry, but to many people who did not learn this stuff in high school or who did not pay attention, I'm sorry, but just seeing Oppenheimer being like, oh, it's not enough. You have to see what a country
You have to
has...
see the reality of
You
it.
have to see the reality. And
I
the reality...
I didn't just want gore. I wanted them to show the real picture.
And
of what
to
happened
the
there.
point, to your point, they were making him as a martyr, so they didn't show anything.
Yeah, that's
Because
why I
I-
don't feel
but-
bad because I
right.
didn't see the consequences.
And
I don't
at the end of the
fucking
day,
care at the end.
it is a biopic.
Yeah.
The movie is more concerned
Yep.
with Oppenheimer's perspective
Yep.
and his experience than it is concerned
With
with
history.
With history.
The,
Exactly.
or the greater
Yes.
message, you know.
I mean, I did
Yes.
go into the movie with a bit of a bias. I thought that like Oppenheimer was a dork, a bit starting,
That's because you're a
Which is-
hyper Chad.
Well, which is so funny because as a physicist,
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's like the bad boy of physics. Like, so that's so funny.
Yeah, but I mean the one where the fucking line where what's his famous? I am become dead.
It's so
destroy the
pretentious.
world.
Yeah, it's such like.
Although
a
in the
lame
movie,
line,
saying that
you
after
know?
sex is awesome.
Yeah, but
But
like,
although again, genuinely,
Yeah.
he did spend a large portion of his life studying the Hindu religion and translating script from Sanskrit.
yeah,
Fucking
And he didn't say that.
but I mean,
He didn't say that in the moment. He said that retroactively. He had tons of different quotes from what he had translated from Sanskrit, and it's just the only one that has survived the test of time has been that
yeah.
one.
This
But
is,
I think as a person, Oppenheimer wasn't actually that. I think he was way more egotistical than pretentious.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
This is a come down bit now though because they were laughing at him. This is probably where I get the.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, this guy is like. He must have thought he was like so cool saying that fucking line. You know?
Yeah. No, he said it years
Like it must have
later.
been so. Thought he was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
To say, you know.
Yeah. And I'm sure.
I am
Yeah.
I was
death.
thinking, like,
And, then,
guy
and the thing is,
fucking what?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? That's a fucking cool line to
I
say.
guess
As
so.
the father of the atomic bomb,
Yeah,
dude.
you
That's
go
like the perfect thing to say,
common
dude. That's
sense.
fucking awesome. But yes, it is fucking pretentious.
You know.
Yes,
I don't
of
know.
course.
But yeah. So yeah, those are my concerns with the movie. That's what I
Okay.
don't like about the movie.
Can I?
This is all
can
leading
I-
off of what I didn't like about the ending.
Can I?
Love the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
Ludwig
So can
Göransson,
I-
you're the best.
Can I
Yeah,
jump
go.
into everything I loved about the movie?
Yes.
Wait, I just want to
Well,
say,
can we
Ultra AVX with that soundtrack was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about you were talking about sound design before you said you didn't like it.
Only at the beginning. Only at the beginning, but then it got better for some reason. Actually, it's true. They edited this while it was in the videos, while it was in the cinemas. There's like a new version of it now with like better audio.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Because I was gonna say during the Trinity test when they
Yeah.
pulled
Maybe
it
I'm
up there,
wrong, but I heard it differently.
I
when it
thought
was-
that the mixing was bad.
So that was
The mixing, the mix.
What I've heard is that was the point.
Okay.
So what I have heard is that during the Trinity test there was two things happening. One, bad mixing to reflect the radioactive destructive interference.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
And-
of course, yeah. That's,
yeah,
that's what I thought too.
And secondly, the silence
Mhm.
to contrast to the rest of the film, which is scored front to back.
Yeah,
There's
silence-
never
oh,
a
yeah.
second where there's not music unless it's impactful.
I thought, not even the mixing. I just thought it was so well done. The decisions they made.
Mhm.
It's like, you know, when like the whole tension, the whole climax of the bomb going off of the test.
Yeah.
You're expecting a big boom, but then it goes
Silent. Yeah.
silent.
Right,
Well,
which
I mean,
is exactly what
yeah.
I heard in the moment
It's
of the test.
no, but like when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's amazing that they did that. Then I realized that makes a lot more sense because
Yeah.
that's exactly what they would have heard because of the genre.
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking
Right?
specifically
Well,
though.
I'm gonna turn the other camera on back on. Well, keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going.
the thing I was thinking specifically, I don't mind the silence. I thought it was cool. It was a bit awe-inspiring. You know, when
Yes.
you're in the theater too. More of a theater, like seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer. It's more of a theater kind of experience. Like,
Yes.
that was awesome.
Well,
in the theater.
Nolan makes movies for the
Yeah.
big screen anyways, so.
But the thing I was thinking is right after that test, when he's talking to Matt Damon and they're going, they're all high-fiving each other, all the scientists in Alamo, and then Matt Damon goes to the telephone and he talks to him and he says, we've got to get the president on the fucking line. Or whatever he says. That's the mixing that I don't like there.
Interesting.
Because the gnat sound and everyone clapping, it ducked so fucking low, it dies, you don't hear anything, and you hear him full volume when he's across frame in like 30 feet back and like, we gotta call the president. As if you're hearing it right next to the microphone.
I didn't catch that.
That's what threw me off with the sound
Okay.
mixing, but that one scene specifically.
Yeah, but the whole movie
That's
sounded
nice.
great.
Other than that, it was awesome. That one
So-
scene though stood out to me. I went, what the
And
fuck?
I mean, I can't remember the last movie I've seen that had score playing literally in every scene unless it was
Yeah.
complete silence.
Yeah.
There was music playing in every goddamn fucking shot.
Well, because it was scored all the way up until the bomb test. And
Exactly.
then the bomb test, that's when it stopped scoring.
And that's so. This is probably the one major issue I had with the movie. Is that, and this is, it's at once an issue I had with it, but also at once a testament to the craft of the film. Is that it somehow managed to maintain tension for fucking 2 hours until that bomb drop, until Trinity test happened.
Oh, I thought that was well done, though.
Me too, but like, like, 30 minutes in, I was like, holy fuck, I can't breathe. And then an hour in, I was like, holy fuck, can this stop? Like, can this, like, it's so fucking tense.
And
and then the bomb drops, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it.
But it's weird that the climax was the test and not the actual bombing of Japan.
So again,
Because
it's from Oppenheimer's perspective,
Yeah.
and because it frames him as a
There
martyr,
you go.
and because it wants you
to
forgive him.
it wants you to imagine Oppenheimer's greatest achievement as the test.
and
Yeah.
forgive science.
And not as the tragedy.
Because he loses his security clearance.
And that's where I think the flaw of the movie lies.
But is it the flaw of the
that-
movie or is it the flaw of the book? Because it's based on a
Sure.
book.
Sure.
Well, the
But
book's
I-
based on a real
you can
story,
do whatever
so
you want
it
in
doesn't
the
really
movie.
matter.
Yeah.
It's the movie's fault,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
But okay, so otherwise, what I loved about the movie was its insistent use of recurring motifs, which is,
yes.
repetition, I think, is the most effective literary technique.
Sure.
Done right.
I think it's illusion, but yeah, sure.
Done wrong, it's fucking annoying. Done
In
wrong, it's shut the
Actually,
fuck up.
there was one of them in Oppenheimer that I thought was so annoying. You know the when he's at the court hearing,
Yeah.
but not like the hearing. The other one where he's like smoking a cigarette and he says like this joke.
When he's like, you can use sandwiches to build a bomb.
You can use a sandwich to
Yeah,
build a bomb.
that one?
Yeah, I thought it was so fucking annoying when they kept repeating it.
So the reason they repeated that is because that's the source of Strauss's tension with Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Strauss's hubris is so large that one event damaged his ego so severely that he dedicated the rest of his career to destroy Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
According to the movie.
I think it was that funny though.
But what I'm referencing is
It's pretty cringe, honestly.
what I'm referring to is recurring motif. Is,
You're wrong, I'm right.
The ripple effect and the overexposure.
Okay.
So the movie starts with Oppenheimer at what I believe to be Oxford University,
Yeah.
Yep.
watching a puddle. It's raining. The
Yeah.
drops fall.
Oh yeah, that whole
There's the ripples. Right, and that ripple effect is a recurring theme because of the underlying question, which is a very real physical equation that any physics undergrad, even I could calculate it for you right now. It is a very real equation that any atomic bomb there is a real probability that it would ignite the entire atmosphere and destroy all of humankind. And that, in terms of quantum mechanics, it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Because near zero is zero. It's never going to happen.
But
Unless we drop bombs constantly. But it is a probability. So it might actually happen. But the beauty of that motif is that by creating the atomic bomb, he does light the world on fire.
He risks it.
Yeah, well, I think
He doesn't just risk it,
Yeah,
and
it's a
he
metaphor,
says it to
yeah.
Einstein later.
Mhm.
He did,
Yeah.
right?
Like-
Because now every nation in the world has an atomic bomb.
it
So
has
it's
a
not
near
just that-
zero chance of just
Right.
Well, it's not just that, but it's not. It was almost a 100% chance because it's like
Exactly.
near zero mechanically, it would have happened, right? But it metaphorically happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that ripple effect, and that ripple motif, and even the imagery of a ripple is consistent throughout
Fuck,
the
in
film.
20 years you're gonna see Bhutan's gonna have fucking nuclear weapons.
And I thought that was beautiful in terms of managing to artistically manifest a physical concept.
Yeah.
Something that is, to me, so theoretical, but in this film has become so palpable.
Like the metaphor is great,
Right.
but I think as a tension builder, I don't think it works though because we know, it's nothing beyond a metaphor.
But we only know because it's happened before. Like we only know
But
that
as a viewer of a movie,
Right, I
Yeah.
guess.
we're not in the movie. We're sitting in
Right.
the theater watching the movie.
Yeah.
See,
So we go, oh, it's a metaphor. Okay.
Well,
It
see, I
doesn't add
saw
to tension. Doesn't add to.
yeah, because I saw the raindrops not as just like the ripple effect of the bomb, but just the bombs.
Yes, exactly.
Like I
yeah.
saw, like I don't know. It's so minute to him.
Yeah.
Because he's such a, I'm the father of the bomb, and this is just nothing to me now.
I am death.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but exactly. It's just... honestly, like, this movie literally, like, just rekindled a fire of, like, just existential dread in me that I lost for a few years because of, like, how happy I was during COVID. But, like, I don't know, it's just...
Oh, fuck, it's gonna come back?
Oh, yeah, no. Exactly. It just came back after this movie. I was like you, I remember the movie finished and you guys got up. I remember you were there for a while.
No, but that Lee just watches all the credits.
I watch the credits to every movie ever. I make a point of watching the credits. I think
he will watch it until
no, because honestly, I feel like we got up a little too early. I was like, what do you like? I mean, I get the whole joke is, what do you mean it blew up?
Well, you wanted the Marvel.
No. Yeah, JFK showing up.
I hate Marvel movies for a lot of reasons. One of them is what they've done to credits. Because now, for a big blockbuster film, everyone stays for the post-credit scene.
Right.
They don't give a shit about the credits.
No.
What the beauty of credits is that, primarily, someone chose the song to play during those credits. Absolutely. And that song is there for a reason. And that reason is to let you sit in the movie and meditate on it. And acknowledge the people who made it.
I agree 10,000%. That's why I watch all the credits with them.
Just
and
decompress.
Just to sit there and think and experience and admire.
Digest.
And rest and digest. And that is the beauty of credits, and the post-credit scene has destroyed that. Because everyone is watching these credits with anticipation for something yet to come. There's nothing yet to come. The credits is the end. That is what you're supposed to enjoy. The credits... Like, there's the climax of the story, but the credits are the climax of the experience.
I kind of like when the credits at the beginning, too. Like a movie from the 30s or something.
Oh, fuck yes.
You sit through 10 minutes of credits
absolutely.
and then you watch the movie.
Yes, it's like
there.
when they give you the title card after an hour into the movie.
That's cool.
It's like you've been
I love it.
It's like movie for an hour, and then all of a sudden you see oh fuck, okay, yeah, now I remember.
It's the cold tease 45 minutes. I mean, credits can be done so well, but even then I find like Nolan is like... takes himself like Oppenheimer, thinks he's the cool fucking guy.
I don't think he does.
I don't know. I mean,
I think he just knows. No, I think he knows that he's just like on a technical standpoint, he's a good director.
Yeah. I want to Photoshop a picture of you.
What?
Going choo-choo at your Oppenheimer, and it's Japan.
Oh god. You know what's even crazier is that I'm actually going to cover a Talkathon this weekend.
Oh yeah. Fucking bomb that shit again. Let's go.
I think.
God damn it.
I think unironically Nolan thinks he's the messiah of cinema.
for sure.
He's not.
Really? I mean, okay, I don't think he is. I'm not like a big Nolan, like, oh my god, wow. But, like, I don't think he thinks he is. I personally really
think in terms of what he's doing for the sanctity and for the survival of the movie theater, he actually is.
But, I mean...
He's dumped...
I think Barbie proved him wrong.
the Messiah of cinema is Hey Ya Lin. With the sky and you.
He's dumped...
Shout out.
I mean, he's dumped a lot of movie post, like, outside of his own projects. He's dumped a lot of movie into the survival of cinema and into the sanctity of that ritual.
Well, like Scorsese.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't like Scorsese's movies very much, and I don't like Nolan's movies very much. Apart from a select few.
Yeah. Can be wrong.
I don't think... I don't think they're...
I'm right with him on this.
I think they're masters of the craft.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're artists.
No, I don't even think they're
masters. Oh, come on. You can't tell me.
I don't even think they're masters.
I don't even think they're masters.
Scorsese, I wouldn't say Nolan, though. Because I think Nolan, the only reason I think he's popular now is he made Batman. And a bunch of guys go, Batman is so sick.
Okay, Inception slaps.
He's...
but
yes, but...
No, but the thing is, they just make good movies. They don't make good art pieces.
Okay, so you can't...
Okay,
hold on. No, hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Because you could not deny...
has 5 good ones.
You could
30 bad ones.
You cannot deny
ones.
that Nolan is famous because of Heath Ledger. And you cannot deny that Scorsese is famous because of Robert De Niro.
100%.
Okay, but
I
like,
agree
that's
with
like
Lee.
saying Okay, but then that's like saying that the Russo brothers or of Marvel is famous because of.
Well, they're famous because people are simple-minded.
Yeah, but why is Kubrick famous?
Because he's fucking good movies.
Jack Nicholson.
No, fucking
but I mean-
way.
Oh
Because
come on!
he's an
No! I'll play your game.
Wait, hold on. That's
Okay.
bet.
Tangent.
Are you telling me Scorsese is a better director, artist than Stanley Kubrick?
No, but I'm saying that Stanley
Both
Kubrick and
podcasts.
Scorsese are both artists in their own respective different points.
Because see, I disagree. The thing about Scorsese's movies, none of his movies, the content of the movies, none of them actually mean anything deeper than the story itself in the movies.
But okay, but
Like-
who says that a deep story merits artistry?
But
all
even
the
if there's
time?
no story.
I say.
No, but okay, every piece of art, for it to be artistic, it has to have a deeper meaning behind
And
it.
I feel
this
like,
is-
no offense, I feel like because you're Irish and because you're Italian, you're just like, oh, I don't like Scorsese. Like, fuck off.
No.
No, come on,
No.
Goodfellas fucking rules. You're just projecting. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I
Yo,
said,
shout out to all my fucking Goodfellas fans.
shut up.
But
Top four,
Laz,
baby.
I've told you this before. I genuinely think Scorsese is one of the most overrated directors of all time.
Bro, without him, you wouldn't have the fucking landscape
no,
as
hold on,
well.
hold on, hold on.
Even he
Full
says.
stop.
everyone,
Full stop.
he's got 40 movies.
Full
that are
stop.
all-
Spielberg is more overrated.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck Spielberg.
No.
Spielberg
I
is
disagree
the most overrated.
because Spielberg
What?
doesn't get the.
What?
Hold on.
What?
Stop.
Come on.
Spielberg doesn't get the
Come on.
critical acclaim that Scorsese does.
But from the general,
Yes, he does.
yeah, the general
No.
From Gen
assholes.
Pop, yes, he does.
I'm not talking about Gen Pop.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like film people.
Bro, have
it's
you
the same thing with Scorsese.
ever heard of, like,
Yeah,
E.T.?
Joe Pop.
I think
Schindler's
Spielberg and
List,
Scorsese are almost
Saving
on the same
Private
level.
Ryan,
Okay.
Transformers,
Stop it.
produced by Steven
He's
Spielberg?
calmed down. There's fucking not 10 until.
Sorry, Simon. No, listen.
But I genuinely think Spielberg and Scorsese occupy the same space in film.
Fuck no.
Yeah. Because Nolan,
Okay,
I
yes,
find
they do,
Nolan
because they're the
the
same-
tad above
Okay.
that.
Scorsese's a character, though. Like, his movies aren't fucking... They're
No.
not insane art pieces. You're going
They're
to
not.
Scorsese.
See, when I watch a Scorsese film, I don't find them very interesting at all.
Okay, but are you saying... Okay, and be honest. Please be honest.
What?
When you were 16 years old, did you think that?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
When I was-
When I was
you.
16 years old, I had never seen a Scorsese movie.
I thought Scorsese
But
was
see,
just
I think that's where our paths diverge. Is
Okay.
that I saw Scorsese when I was 15 years old. I saw Goodfellas and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I watched Goodfellas before that, before I was 16.
Okay, so you didn't understand it.
And a couple times after I was 16.
Oh, he's
And I-
Italian. He understood
blah.
it.
blood, baby.
But the thing is, it was a good movie. It was just a good movie. It wasn't a good art
but
piece,
come
though.
Yeah.
on.
I think
It's
the
a-
scene
But what's
it's a
artistic
callback.
about Goodfellas?
Well,
Okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
just the technical
Set
prowess.
design,
Yeah,
costumes.
it's just that, yeah.
No,
Fucking-
I'm not
the
talking
camera.
about. I'm not talking.
Yeah, thank you.
No, but I'm-
Thank you.
No,
Fucking
but I mean,
Scorsese
You're-
is
you're-
Hollywood.
dismiss
camera.
No, but
the
why-
technical
why-
artistry.
why are you shaking hands with him? He thinks he's more overrated than I do.
No, but okay, look, I'm
No, but lads, anyone.
I like
any-
Raging
wait,
Bull.
wait, wait,
Raging
wait.
Bull is
Raging
cool.
Bull fucking
I haven't
rules.
seen it.
Raging Bull's
Fucking
great.
rules.
Raging Bull's great. But the thing is, technique and all that stuff that you guys are shaking hands on, that can all be learned.
Okay, but the thing is that Scorsese
Yeah,
does
but-
not want you to...
I mean, your camera work is on par, I think, to Scorsese.
I don't know.
Okay, but that's
I don't
because
want to stuff your
Scorsese-
ego too much, but
Scorsese lends a lot to the French New Wave. And by
Oh my
default,
god, here we go.
by default, it's not, oh, here we go. This is like literally objective fact. What the fuck? Listen. This is, he literally
What?
says it verbatim, like, I own a lot to
What's
the French New Wave.
Laz,
Oh,
what's the deeper meaning of Goodfellas?
nothing.
Okay, there you
Who
go.
cares?
I care.
Okay, but seriously, really? You guys want, like, separate meanings to
Yes.
a movie?
Well, if no, but it's not that I want it. It's like
But if
if
we're
you're gonna
gonna
ask me, no, but if you're gonna ask me how good the movie is, for me, for it to be a 10 out of 10 movie, it has to have that.
so
It can't just be a.
here's my
It's gotta be
thing.
both.
It's gotta be both. It has to be a
Yeah,
good
it's
movie
gotta be
and it has to be
both. My favorite
artistic.
movie is-
Here's my thing. Hold up. Here's my thing. Scorsese, Spielberg is J.K. Rowling.
Transphobic?
No, but pop.
It's
Okay,
pop. Yeah.
fine.
That's over.
It's general fiction.
Yes.
Yeah, not literature.
Scorsese is,
Non-fiction literature.
I mean,
done well.
Maybe fucking who wrote Game of Thrones?
George R. R. Martin.
Scorsese's Martin. It's
Pretty
good.
fucking solid.
It's solid.
You're not
But it's not
losing me here.
Tolkien.
That's true.
Okay, you can arguably say that George R. R. Martin has a better understanding of how to write a story than J.R.R. Tolkien. And you can argue. You can argue the fuck out of this.
Call Joey Byrne right now, dude.
Martin would be
I love
fucking
I love
nothing
Tolkien.
without
I love Tolkien. No, I know, but you can't say that some people can be better than their teachers.
That's what I'm saying.
Some people are better than their mentors.
So Scorsese isn't a giant. He is standing on the shoulders of giants.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
No, but even
No,
if he's fantastic,
no,
even if he has all the
God,
technical
no.
prowess in the world, they still have to have that little spark that makes it, oh, wow, something above.
Right.
You need a little zap of it.
Does he have it?
You're saying yes, but he's saying
3 out of 40 times.
So basically, close to zero, like an Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah, near zero. Near
Yeah,
zero.
near
probably.
zero. Okay.
So hold up. Here's another thing. Here's genuinely.
Couldn't do it. I liked it.
Kundun. Marty, Kundun. I liked it.
So here's, and I've spoken to Dante about this.
And in this
extensively.
household, he's a varsity athlete. Kundun.
No. In this household, Margot Robbie's a piece of ass.
Hey. We just understood and appreciated the
Yes.
message of Barbie.
Yes.
Okay.
How dare you?
Come on, how dare you?
No, but okay.
Like, The
So
Sopranos is 10 times more meaningful than Goodfellas could ever be.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you on that point, but there's no Sopranos without Goodfellas.
But then is Goodfellas a better biopic than Oppenheimer?
I haven't
Yes,
seen.
because I do not consider...
No, I don't think so.
I don't consider
I would
Henry
say,
Hill
yeah.
as
I
a...
would agree,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I don't consider
Well, because
Henry
it's so,
Hill...
like, inaccurate. Like, it's so not...
Well, who gives a fuck about inaccuracy when I don't like the main character?
Well, Oppenheimer's...
I'll read a book. I want to see facts and shit. I want to see a movie.
Well, no, I want to see a movie too, but, like, at least I want it to be true to at least what some of the content.
Yeah.
Whereas Goodfellas
Yeah.
is kind of not. It kind of glorifies it a bit too much.
Like, even if you want it true, though, like, the world didn't actually overexpose when he's in the hearing, and he didn't
Yeah.
step on a crushed body when he's in the whatever theater.
I mean,
There's
should've,
still
like, you know.
elements. Yeah, but there's still, like, there's still
yeah.
literally elements in it.
Well, why did we start talking about Scorsese again? I don't even remember.
Oh, because biopics,
Nolan,
Scorsese,
yeah.
Nolan is like Scorsese,
Yeah. Or it's just a
which is not true.
Yeah, like I find Scorsese's films, they don't transcend the films, you know?
But they do.
Like,
This is
they don't.
this is
They don't.
what I was
That's
gonna
episode
say.
time.
The Last Temptation of Christ is awesome.
I haven't seen it.
That movie fucking rules.
So this is what I was gonna say about what I consider to be good art, which I've spoken to Dante about extensively. Is that to me, good art makes me want to create. Bad art makes me want to experience someone else's art.
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese's movies make me want to watch someone else's movies.
Wow, that's not my case at all.
And that's completely subjective, and I
Yeah,
recognize
no,
that
for
from
sure.
100%.
For sure.
And
Wow.
you know, we've been mentioning Kubrick throughout. Kubrick's movies make me want to make a movie.
Yeah, I
To
think...
me,
Why
that's the
not say
difference.
both? Like honestly, like I feel like
No,
there's
but
this whole-
I literally think Kubrick's probably the best director to ever live.
And Herzog.
And Herzog, for sure.
Herzog is my
Uh,
favorite. My favorite.
yeah.
But
Well,
Kubrick is... I feel like Kubrick is the greatest
greatest
artist behind the camera of a movie.
I
for
think so.
studio film.
For studio
set,
films, yes.
Fiction.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like...
You don't think so? Who are you thinking, like?
I think that's a very Western perspective.
I mean, it is, but like, I feel like they're just so good.
I think there should be a best director for every country, personally. But
Sure.
I think I haven't seen enough from every country.
Yeah.
But
I've
like,
seen a lot of China. I've seen some from Japan. I've seen some from Korea.
Yeah.
I've seen some from America, and Canada just sucks.
No, but
Whoa! Cronenberg's.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Don't ever
Cronenberg
disrespect the
aside.
Cronenbergs.
Okay,
Like
fine.
that. Yeah, this podcast.
Okay, honestly, Quebec film is so superior than
What are you
Canadian
thinking of
film.
the Fast Runner?
I don't know.
No, oh, well, that too is cool. But no, he's a Canadian Armenian.
Oh, Adam McGoyan.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's good.
But I don't know. I
Watch The
do-
Adjuster. It's his only good movie.
I do submit that like he's probably not the best in the world, Kubrick. But I do think
Who would be?
the way he makes movies is like almost at the apex of skill of what you can do in a movie.
I think it is a.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Technical skill.
I think
technical skill.
Technical skill.
Yeah.
I think Tarantino's on par.
No, hell no.
But
No,
Tarantino's
what?
copying though. Tarantino copies it all. Kubrick's making
yeah.
it.
Okay, sure.
And Kubrick has
same
way
thing
more
with Scorsese.
beautiful shots than
But that's the thing with Scorsese,
you could ever
too.
have there.
Scorsese is referencing everything.
This is a
Scorsese's
really
all
insane
reference.
tangent.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
It's a big tangent.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, to end on the Stanley Kubrick thing, it's like Kubrick's shots, it's just in one movie, are better than every shot that Tarantino's ever done.
But this is like, there's a quote from Scorsese too where he says like one movie of Kubrick is worth 10 of another guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's
Yeah.
true to his movies
And,
too.
and the thing is, it's just Kubrick's just a guy that looks at at a set
Okay,
or
here,
whatever.
hold up.
Yeah,
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa
Akira
was a
Kurosawa-
master, though.
he's
Better than Kubrick.
he's before Kubrick.
Okay, here's another one.
He's
then.
not at the top of that
Yeah,
curve.
but
yet, though.
Kurosawa, he's also, in some of his movies, he's a studio guy, so he's on a contract.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Kubrick has 10 years and he goes, I'm just going to make a movie now.
Right.
But Kurosawa's also like he's one of the greatest. Akira Kurosawa is one of my favorite directors of all time. He's one of the greatest, but I would consider Kurosawa the best. Two different things.
Wow.
Kurosawa's a lot,
Okay.
very extremely influential. You know?
Okay, what about Ozu?
Ozu, I put him up there with Kubrick.
He's a
for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
What about
He's a
Méliès?
technical master too.
What about Méliès?
Who?
Georges Méliès.
You have to remind me.
It's like all the
The
short
Voyage to the,
movies.
to the Moon.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't
this
know.
was.
But I mean, he
That's
has
like OG. That's like the
300
first movies ever made.
Oh, yeah?
Well, they're all like 10 minutes long. Though.
Yeah, but Ozu's like.
Like,
I think
Scorsese
this conversation could go on.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back
we
to
can talk about Godard.
Oppenheimer.
We can talk about
Back to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
yes.
Anyone have any other comments about Oppenheimer? Because I kind of said what I want to say about it.
It's a genuinely well-made film.
It's a good movie. Like it's a great movie. Like
I seriously think on second viewing, people would appreciate this more because they're not hyped up for the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Because I saw Barbie, and so now I can appreciate Oppenheimer. There's a different experience
Yes.
when you see these alone because there's this beautiful. I feel like there's this beautiful void that you experience when you watch Oppenheimer. There's this idea that
I had more of a sense of like reaching out to the cosmos.
I didn't. I had a sense of Jesus Christ.
I was really kind of inspired watching.
I
it.
was simultaneously inspired by the hubris of mankind within a very American context.
Yeah.
And this whole we won the war and I mean yeah, the Allies won the war, World War II. I mean rightfully so at a certain point, but to the detriment of many citizens' innocent lives lost, and not only that, to the point that the nuclear bomb now exists. We could just bomb the entire planet out of existence. Right now, if we do this podcast, who knows what could happen right now? In 5 minutes, we're all gone.
Yeah.
That's
Here's-
just scary.
But as a movie, was it effective?
Absolutely, I
Both
think so.
sides of the argument.
I think both sides of the argument were effectively portrayed. I think both sides of the argument in terms of Oppenheimer's internal struggle was not explicitly showed enough.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think Oppenheimer
That's what I'm saying.
Oppenheimer was Oppenheimer's character was portrayed too flatly. I think his internal struggle should have been more of a focus
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying the whole time.
versus the struggle between Oppenheimer and Strauss.
Yeah.
That is my main negative criticism with the movie. Having said that, and as a physicist, I did come out of Oppenheimer in the same way you did, where I was filled with dread and filled with this incredible sense of at once relatability to Oppenheimer in terms of wanting to achieve something so significant and be remembered as such an important figure historically and scientifically, but also dealing with the repercussions of your discovery and dealing with the fact that whatever... I mean, sure, explicitly he was building a bomb, but any scientist can probably relate to him in terms of their own achievements being used in ways that they did not expect or in ways they did not wish. I mean,
well, they told me you're making an atomic bomb. It's kind of expected what's going to happen there. Also, when Timothy Chalamet plays you in your biopic, he's going to fucking say that whole thing.
So,
Oh no, please.
what I was going to say also, because I don't think I ever finished my thought about motifs. There was the ripple effect motif.
The ripple, yeah.
There's also the overexposure motif, which was used multiple times. It was used during the Trinity test. It was used during Oppenheimer's renewal of his security clearance, when what's-his-name was berating him with perfectly phrased, lawyerly trap questions.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also used during the audience appraisal that
Yeah.
Oppenheimer was receiving
at Los
at
Alamos.
right?
Yeah.
And that motif, I think, works, in the same way that every other motif works in this movie, where it's at once a physical and very real interpretation of what Oppenheimer might have experienced, and at second, a very figurative exposition and showing of the effects of the atomic bomb. Right? It's not just a flash in time. It's the overexposure of humanity to weapons manufacturing.
Yeah.
It's the overexposure of this insane weapon that has now been created and that will only ever become more destructive. And that's been shown historically through multiple bomb tests. And that, I think, use of overexposure cinematographically acts as a reflection of Oppenheimer's and society's experience in the wake of the Cold War as an overexposure to the impending apocalypse that may be caused by, again, relating to the other motif, the ripple effect of lighting the world on fire.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, like, back to, like you just reminded me of another thing is, too, is that, like, or maybe realize another thing is that, like, the thing with this, that it's the martyr, like, what I'll say, what I didn't like about the movie, that didn't highlight his grief enough, the fact that this hearing was so important to the movie, by showing it like that, it put more importance on the hearing and his security clearance. Who the fuck cares about his security
I
clearance?
thought that said more about the movie. More about Nolan than anything, because he's putting more, like, I felt that story was more like, oh, he's a hero, and this is how you treat heroes.
For sure, but, like, really, this hearing is about a security clearance. It's not, all in all, it's not that important of a thing.
Well, that's the facade. Is the security clearance. It's just
So
not-
they're putting, well, I know, but it's like, ultimately, it's not that important, being security cleared for the next project or whatever,
Well, it wasn't so much because it was because, and this is the fact that I have a problem with that the movie didn't play both sides fairly enough, is that the security clearance perspective is playing into the fact that Oppenheimer, for the rest of his career, after the Trinity test, explicitly worked towards weapon control and the non-development of weapons.
Sure.
And global peace and globalization and all these things. And the security clearance was, a weapon Strauss used to remove Oppenheimer from that discussion so that America could develop an H-bomb that would counter the Tsar bomb, which is still to this day the greatest weapon, the greatest bomb ever detonated.
Yeah, but I feel like what I like is that they put more importance on that, on the security clearance, than his grief.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, that's
because the movie again the movie puts so much importance into that trial hearing that it frames him as a martyr, and I think the movie would have been more effective framing him as a morally ambiguous character instead of as an objectively a martyr figure, which is what the movie tries to achieve. I felt.
Yeah, they make him a hero and they break it down, but
yeah.
The one thing I'd like to say before Dante was you were talking about, like, you were awe-inspired by a second. Well, like me, it was those first maybe 15 minutes of the movie when he's talking about, I can see the particles, I can imagine it in my head, and the bed lying down. Those practical effects were fucking cool.
I like those. I like when he's looking at the sky, at the stars and stuff like that.
When there's this huge bomb going, everything's blowing up. Those effects.
Yeah.
I was feeling. Oh, I'm watching a
What were you gonna say?
movie right now.
Well, I tapped you because you mentioned the stars. So that was my next recurring motif.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my last one, I think. I have 3. The next recurring motif was the stars.
Stars are explosions.
Right? But also, I mean, Oppenheimer's greatest achievement, I feel, in terms of physics, because someone would have discovered the atomic bomb. That's inevitable. But what Oppenheimer did, what they show in the movie, but they don't bring enough importance to, is that, I mean, Oppenheimer and his students' paper on black holes was incredibly revolutionary.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, they were the first.
It's true. They did talk about it, like the light refracting around it.
Yeah, I mean, they were some of the first people in the world to theoreticize that if a star had enough mass that it would collapse so heavily it would suck in everything, including light.
Yeah.
And they proved that mathematically. And Oppenheimer's paper is still to this day the foundation of most black hole research.
He's gonna credit that.
And right, and that I think is something Nolan failed to show.
Yeah.
But what he didn't fail is to use the black hole as a metaphor for
The bomb.
the bomb. Right, Oppenheimer. Right, a star grows so big that it collapses in on its own gravity.
That's
and
a
kills
very good.
itself and sucks in everything,
I think
everything else.
That's Nolan after Memento.
Right, and so here's where I'm going to say the thing I said before to you is that Christopher Nolan uses that as a metaphor for Oppenheimer in terms of his own achievements and his own ego and his own creation of the bomb. He's the father of the bomb, and that gravity of that one achievement is so great that it collapses his entire career.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But
They could have used that metaphor way more heavy-handed.
yes, they could have and they should have.
But I don't think he thought of it. I don't think it's smart enough.
But so one interpretation that I saw online, which I thought was very funny, is that the entire movie is a metaphor for Nolan's career,
Okay.
and that his atomic bomb is the Dark Knight trilogy, and that Oppenheimer creating the nuke and killing all the Japanese people is Christopher Nolan creating the comic book movie and starting the Marvel phase, and ruining cinema.
Maybe it is art.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
I mean, dude, okay. Nolan's pretty pretentious, and he takes himself pretty seriously. But if he takes himself that fucking seriously, to compare The Dark Knight to the fucking nuclear bomb,
That's pretty funny.
it's
I hope
but
it's not true.
I hope it's not true. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cringe. But that's I think were my notes, and I think the only thing we haven't spoken about is the we spoke about how the score is relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounded great, Ultra AVX.
Yeah.
Ultra AVX is fucking good.
It sounded great, I do say.
So then, yeah, I'm pretty sure my notes are done.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, Cillian Murphy killed it.
He did. I think Cillian Murphy for Best Actor, Ryan Gosling for Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, interesting.
Do we?
I think I have to wait until other movies come out for Best Supporting.
What else is coming out?
I don't know.
I feel like these movies have been so big publicity-wise that I have no idea what the hell the rest of the year holds.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I don't really care either that much.
But I mean,
Bro, you're a co-host of a movie podcast.
I do believe that Robert Downey. I don't think it's his best performance. I think his best performance is Chaplin. But I do believe that they probably will give him the Oscar for this.
Oh yeah, Best Supporting?
I'm not saying it's his best.
Yeah.
His best is
So-
Chaplin in my head, but I think the Academy's going to give it to him for this.
So part of the theory...
No, he just plays himself as an asshole.
Part of the theory is... I see where you go with this.
So part of the last thing I said about Nolan making this movie as a reference to him rooting cinema with
Wow,
the superhero
that's
movies
terrible.
is casting
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. as the antagonist
Because he's Iron
to
Man.
break him out of Iron Man. Yeah, exactly. And to play into that whole thing because Robert Downey Jr. also regrets being Iron Man.
Really?
I think he said explicitly that he regrets...
Like on the Joe Rogan podcast?
I don't know, fuck. But I remember reading at least that he feels a bit like...
A lot was taken away.
Like he's just Iron Man now. And he regrets that. He wishes he was more than just Iron Man.
Okay.
He regrets that his career has been boiled down to that.
Yeah, it's just, he's typecast as Iron Man, basically.
He wishes he was still the best friend in Back to School.
But yeah,
So do you guys still want to compare the two movies? Or?
Well, I think we had to see it as Barbenheimer, so we have to compare the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a movie-going experience.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
as a movie-going experience,
I had a blast.
I had a great time.
I had a good time.
oh, I think we spoke to. I spoke explicitly to the fact that I think Barbenheimer downplays both films. It hurts both films.
Right.
But I think as a double feature, in terms of existential dread,
It was great.
works fantastic.
I think it was. Yeah, it was a night. It was like
I mean, Barbie was joyful and colorful and amazing
And funny as fuck.
and funny as fuck, but at the same time, deeply existential and deeply left me wondering what my place in the world was.
You're checking your privilege as a male.
Yes, and then Oppenheimer hit me with,
There is no place for you on this.
there is no place for me, and not only that, but what is the place of humankind in terms of life in general?
Right. Yeah.
I was picturing it as like a tasting menu when you go to a restaurant. You get one salty dish, you get one sweet one.
Yeah, okay,
No more
All
space on
together
that
you
camera,
go-
by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, we ran out of SD.
Right on.
Yeah, it's like a little flavor of each, but all together as the experience, it hit.
I thought it was great because they were so opposite in terms of like look and feel.
Yeah.
Like it's funny and colorful. Oppenheimer's like dark and like super depressing. And I feel like I feel like it was just a great movie going experience to watch them back to back. I kind of liked it, honestly.
I did, yeah. But I found like maybe first viewing, maybe not so much because I found it elevated Barbie, and for me it downplayed.
Yeah, a
Oppenheimer
little bit.
bit.
Yeah.
But maybe second viewing on something, or again back to back in different order, something maybe.
Because I thought Barbie was like I liked it a lot more than Oppenheimer.
In the moment, yeah. But
Yeah,
now
in
I'm
the
talking
moment.
about it now doing this. Yeah.
About the opposite.
I think I might still feel the same way.
Well, you've seen them twice. What do you think?
I think Barbenheimer, to your point, kind of ruins the separation, like the uniqueness of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer when you took them alone?
Okay, so knowing me, right?
Yeah, the Barbie.
It was actually Oppenheimer.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting.
So I enjoyed Oppenheimer much. So when I saw both on the second viewing, I enjoyed Oppenheimer much more. Not much more, but like by a point, by half a star on Letterboxd than Barbie. I don't know. It's just Barbie's great, but to me, a comedy, unless you're Cat in the Hat, will never be something 5-star or 4.5.
Yeah,
Not because maybe I'm just biased.
No, I get
But
that.
like,
Well, that's like saying a horror movie can't be a 5
Yeah,
star.
because I think the MASH movie is a perfect movie. I think that's a 10 on 10.
The what?
The MASH movie. MASH.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you've been saying that for years, man. You've got
That's
something about that.
fantastic.
I
I feel
it.
like-
I think Monty Python and Quest for All Grail is a 10 out of 10 movie.
That too,
Both,
yeah.
okay, but
Even
both. Look,
Life of Brian.
oh, by the way, that
Very
reference
very
in
funny.
Barbie made the movie for me.
The
that-
Holy Grail reference?
Like when the Kens were just like on their.
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah, the horse thing. That was fucking
awesome.
funny.
That was
yeah.
awesome.
But you can't just say because it's a comedy.
No,
it
no,
can't be
no.
10 out of
But
10.
okay. Think of it this way. When I was more enthralled and into the story through Oppenheimer than I was with Barbie.
But
Barbie was very
No, but I
like it was very. Yes, I don't know if superfluous is the word.
superficial.
Yeah, superficial. It was artificial.
Yeah, but
Very
now-
artificial.
But now
Well, it's supposed to
talking-
be. It's
Yeah,
I know, but
Barbie.
it wasn't. I wasn't getting into it. I wasn't getting into the world.
But you know why? Because I feel like visually, Oppenheimer's a lot more stunning than Barbie.
it is.
A lot.
I
more
know
stunning.
Rodrigo Prieto
5
is the
minutes
cinematographer.
out of 3 hours.
No, the shots are very beautiful in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, well, what do you mean by beautiful though?
Like colors
They're
and
also
composition.
engaging. I think they're a
You
little.
know, I
more-
feel like the camera work, the camera movement in
Yeah.
Barbie's a lot better.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's no shot in Barbie that's just like a painting. You know,
No, but I mean, I was
in Oppenheimer there is.
I was thinking the same way about
yeah.
what I was saying before with the shallow camera. You know, The Master, that movie.
Yeah.
That's very shallow, and everything is perfectly in focus in that movie,
Yeah.
and everything that's supposed to be shallow is focused. Like, so I think that mastery of technique outweighs whatever Oppenheimer was doing with the shallow camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing, but he did it better.
Yeah. Sure.
I was much more into Oppenheimer than Barbie. Barbie's great, but for me, Oppenheimer, at first 5 minutes I was into it.
I just clinged on to that world, that mindset, that space. While Barbie was very artificial in nature, so it was like, and also maybe this is just weird, but because I am a guy, I maybe might not appreciate it as much. And that's just
Sure.
maybe me. But when I saw it with my partner, she clinged on to different things than I did in Barbie.
Yeah.
And like I got it. I understood what it was, but
Right.
it's like it wasn't like, oh wow.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was the like the marketing of the two movies that might have swayed also. Because I didn't
Yeah.
see anything about Barbie other than the Chevy commercial, so I'm expecting it to be a commercial. And then
Yeah.
I see a thoughtful movie and I go, oh wow, it's something different, you know?
Yeah.
But for Oppenheimer, all I saw was the practical effects, huge bombs going off, and the guy going, oh fuck, you know? So I'm expecting something
Yeah.
crazier. And then I see a
So-
more slow burn movie.
So that's
going
The burn.
that's pretty much what I think I experienced too, but in the reverse sense, in that
okay.
because my expectations are so high for Gerwig
Mm-hmm.
and Baumbach that I was expecting. I don't think I was expecting more out of Barbie. I was just expecting
Weird.
something a little more out there, something that
Oh,
took a
so
little more
more.
chances.
Yeah, Mattel did not want. You could tell
Yeah.
that Gerwig and Baumbach were like, "Can we do this?"
Yeah.
And Mattel, you can know. I can tell. I can pinpoint when Mattel was like, "No,
Yeah.
no, 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 and no."
But with Oppenheimer,
It was carte blanche for Nolan.
Oh,
Completely.
for sure.
and
yeah.
I don't. I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of Gerwig.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of Nolan. I like his movies. They're good movies. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
I don't
I'm
find-
not into Nolan.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fan of
But-
The Dark Knight, but I'm not a fan of Nolan.
Right.
I don't
But
find them
then-
good movies though. I find them big movies.
But then to me as well, I'm a physicist.
Mm-hmm.
So to see
Bazinga.
this story told on the big screen and to this effect and to be so emotive
Yeah.
to me was a lot more personal
Mhm.
for sure than Barbie was.
But if you're able to step out and pull back a little bit outside of that personal part, would you like more? Because I know you like Oppenheimer more, as you
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah, I do like Oppenheimer. I mean, I can't step
Yeah,
out.
objectively
There's no
it's
way I can
impossible.
step
You
out.
can't
I mean,
do
I
that.
am
Yeah.
who I am. I
Yeah.
can't, you know.
Okay.
I mean, that's why I like Heart of Glass, because I'm a glass maker. That's my favorite movie.
So he said what he thought. What do you think? What do you think of the two movies? Comparing them. Other than
Well,
what
I
you
mean, I
said.
think Barbenheimer hurt both. I think it would have been better for both films and both directors if they would have played less into the marketing and decided to release them at least a week apart
Okay.
and given people the time to digest each film separately.
Because I do think you enjoyed Barbie.
Oh, it was a fucking good movie.
Oh yeah,
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 yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking if Oppenheimer came out on a different year in a different month, Barbie might be my movie of the year.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
But because of Barbenheimer, I like Oppenheimer more.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you want to shoot some ratings?
Well, we haven't discussed favorite shots yet.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'm
was
like-
thinking since we're all gonna do our own little comparison and say which one we liked more, I was thinking.
Should we hop into ratings first?
Well, no, but like not in the conventional way. Like Laz gave his spiel about Oppenheimer, Barbie. Which one he likes more? You just gave your spiel.
Yeah, okay, go for it then.
Well, no. What's your rating?
You
What's
first.
your ratings?
No, you first.
So you do want me to go into ratings?
Yeah.
We
Fuck it.
go on a 5 scale?
or 10.
10.
5 is average. 5 is perfect.
5
average.
is dead average.
5 is dead average.
I mean, and I'm going to rate these very subjectively.
Mm.
Oppenheimer's a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Barbie's like a 7.
really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that.
Not at all. What about you?
Well, you didn't say your ratings. So you want to give you two ratings real quick?
So Barbie for me was an 8, and Oppenheimer was an 8.5.
Ooh.
It's very
Yeah.
very close. But in my letterbox it's 4 and 4.5 because letterbox
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
give
yeah.
me these whole yeah.
Okay, so for me, I liked the Barbenheimer experience. For me, it didn't really matter. I was able to separate them a bit.
Okay.
I much prefer Barbie over Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was just a movie for me. Barbenheimer was a piece of art. I mean, not Barbenheimer. Barbie was a piece of art to me. Like, Oppenheimer was a great movie. Barbie was a piece of art.
I love the experience I had with you guys.
Yeah, the
Watching
experience was great.
Barbenheimer, that was fun, of course.
But Barbie was such a curveball.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was so meaningful. And for me, it had a like the meaning transcended the movie, and I feel like it was an important one. Like, now that we talked about Oppenheimer a little bit, I got Lee's perspective. Like, yeah, Oppenheimer is very meaningful too, but I don't think it's as meaningful, I found. Or at least the themes reflect. I feel like Barbie was way more cohesive in its themes than Oppenheimer. It didn't make mistakes like Oppenheimer did. Like, with them being a martyr and that whole discussion that we had about the grief and all that stuff, like, and the decisions they made for Oppenheimer, I feel like weren't. It's not the best movie it could have been.
All right, give me digits. Let's go.
What?
Give me digits.
On
What's your
Let me give it okay? I just want one other thing to say about that. Oppenheimer wasn't the best movie that it could have been. It has more potential than I thought it had. Barbie was perfect for what it was. I don't see much mistakes with Barbie, other than that gynecology ending a little bit. Otherwise, I found it pretty goddamn spotless. You know, ratings. I'm giving Barbie a 9, and Oppenheimer 7.5.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, boys.
For me, I think I'm loving everything you're saying, Dante.
Oh.
I think I'm agreeing with everything. I found Oppenheimer kind of muddy with themes, concept. It was, we weren't getting into hard things, but like you said, for
Barbie was consistent.
Yeah, or what it could be.
Concise.
Yeah, Barbie, what it could be was the maximum potential of what it could be.
It was the maximum potential of what it could be.
But I think Oppenheimer could have been better.
Yeah, could have.
So, I mean, maybe it was a better movie, but the potential, you still go, I'm lacking something, even if it is this 3-hour big odyssey, I still
in Oppenheimer, there's a big thing that's lacking. Big thing.
So that.
2 big things. In 2 big cities. In Japan. That's what it's lacking. Go on.
I mean, I agree with you, Dante. I'm giving Barbie a cool 8. Oppenheimer. Well, now this is the thing. In the moment, at Barbenheimer, if we'd done a podcast, the second after we finished the movies, I would have said Barbie's fucking sick, dude. Barbie's a 9. Oppenheimer's a 4.
Oh, damn.
Moment of.
Yeah.
But a week later, Barbie goes down and Oppenheimer goes up.
Okay.
So I'm giving Barbie an 8, giving Oppenheimer a 7.
Okay, wow.
They've evened out a bit more, and talking about it more, you get a bit more appreciation for other perspectives.
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
I think our average pretty much
Well-
levels out at both of them being an 8.
Yeah.
Well, my perspective of Oppenheimer has increased because of what you said. Because I'm not a physicist, right?
Yeah.
But for me, Barbie was just too, like you said, it was maximal.
Yeah.
Barbie was maximal what it could have been its potential. It even exceeded its potential.
Well,
for me.
it colored to the lines, and Oppenheimer was not as close to the line.
Yeah. They could have made Oppenheimer better, in my opinion.
All right, so favorite shots.
Favorite shots?
Yeah.
Dante, you start. Favorite Barbie shot.
Fuck, I have to think now. I don't remember.
All right, you want me to go then?
Yeah, go.
I haven't written down.
I got 2 loaded up.
My favorite Barbie shot was when she goes to the high school and she confronts Ferrero's daughter. Don't remember any of the characters' names apart from Barbie
Sasha.
and Ken.
It's just white
She
savior.
confronts Sasha.
Yeah.
And she's all in
And
pink.
the shot, she's wearing the pink cowboy getup, and the shot is back to the 4 high school girls, and Margot Robbie's there with the pink cowboy outfit posing. I think that's a fucking incredible shot, and it perfectly encapsulates the entire purpose of the criticism of Barbie in terms of Barbie thinking that she's this female icon, but really she's been incredibly detrimental to the female image throughout society.
Yeah.
And
I
just
think-
to society.
Yeah, I think
It's
that,
all gray.
that one shot was so
Yeah.
perfectly composed. Otherwise, it's when Ryan Gosling pops out of the convertible when they're driving to the real world, and he whips out the rollerblade, yellow neon rollerblade.
I think
That's just a fucking good shot.
I think the rollerblades are my favorite shot.
it's
Now that
a
I'm
good
thinking
shot.
about it, I think
With
it's
the
my
rainbow right above their heads,
Yeah.
perfectly centered. It's just a good shot.
What about Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer, it's got to be the thing is, I find both films are more of sequence based.
Yes.
There's
not like one crazy one frame.
There are no shots. It's all sequence.
I think only the like the cut in of him thinking about particles and stuff blowing up would be the standalone shots. Yeah.
So for Barbie, I had a hard time identifying a single shot, but I found one. It was the one I mentioned.
Yeah.
For Oppenheimer, I think I have a harder time because the only real shots there are
landscape establishing.
Yeah,
shots,
it's like New Mexico, or it's the bomb, or it's the abstract
I
particle.
I love the shots when they're on the train. Oppenheimer and General what's his face?
Rose.
Yeah, but I think for the purpose of motif, that initial shot of the ripples and the puddle is probably my favorite.
Yeah. I guess I don't really have a favorite other than the Ken one with the oil blaze. Thinking of it.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, like the thing about Oppenheimer is there's no standout shots. They're all kind of really good, and like they're all kind of like I don't know, beautiful looking.
Actually, you know what?
What?
When it's a black and white shot when Oppenheimer leaves the Nuclear Commercial Council, I think, and there's all the paparazzi around him, and it's just him like hiding his face with the hat.
Yeah.
Like there's a moment there where it's just fucking.
It's pretty poetic.
Good. Yeah, it's just fucking good.
Yeah, but I don't really have much for Oppenheimer. What about you? Favorite shots?
So for me, favorite shot I'll start with Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's when he's with the classroom, when he starts his time as a professor at where was it?
Caltech, I'm pretty sure.
I believe it's Caltech, and it starts off with that one student, but then becomes like a whole group of students, and he's kind of there talking, and he's bantering with them. I really appreciated that. That was like it kind of played to your point at when you were talking about the movie, is that like he's just a scientist and he wants to be remembered for a discovery. And just be a professor and just be a scientist. And I think that kind of plays to the martyrdom that we're kind of forced to experience through the movie. Mm. But it really paints a picture of like he is human, and he wants to, and he has a group of students. And I really like that part. I like what he was wearing. I like the shot. I just like the composition of that piece. It was like really like he is the center of their world, of his own world, and blah blah blah. For Barbie, it's a little different. For me, it's honestly at the beginning, when
the establishing shot.
Yeah, the establishing shot of Barbie world, where she waves. Because this is really, I mean, it's one thing to have general audiences watch a ripoff, or more of a pastiche, or a what's it called? No, like what's it called? Like when she's trying to riff off of Kubrick's work at the beginning. Okay? Right. It's one thing that like everyone might think that's weird, but once you get into Barbie world and she has that shot of her waving and you don't see like she's in the back and it's like just Barbie world. That's really the make or break for the movie. It's either you're going to get into this movie or you're not, because it does look artificial. It doesn't look real. Some people at the movies probably went like, what the hell am I watching?
Right.
And they just completely clocked out. Whereas, I don't know, in my experience, watching it both times, I was like, all right, let's go. It's like, I'm excited to see what this movie entails, because I just saw a rip-off of Stanley Kubrick, and now I'm watching this bubblegum Candyland board game set, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So, for me, that's my favorite shot of Barbie.
Okay, you know how you just mentioned banter in the Oppenheimer thing?
Yeah.
It just made me think of something. Cillian Murphy's performance?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the way he looks.
It's like
but the way he spoke in Oppenheimer was very much the way he speaks in Peaky Blinders.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, just like, doesn't say much, but that one line he says is like alpha male shit, And it kind of made me cringe during Oppenheimer.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen Peaky Blinders.
It's awesome.
But I think Cillian Murphy's a fantastic actor.
No, he's a great actor, but
he's great at ants.
If you watch Peaky Blinders like clips, there's a certain way that he talks where like he won't just have a conversation, but he'll say like one line and it'll just be like the most clever alpha line ever. And
well, I'm sure that's why he was cast, because I mean that's Oppenheimer's reputation back then was to be that guy.
Okay.
He was hired for the Manhattan Project not for being a good scientist. Because like I said, he was a bad experimentalist and he was bad at math.
Yeah.
all that's left in terms of physics is someone with good ideas.
Okay.
The reason Oppenheimer was hired is because he was a leader.
Oh, I thought he was
Okay.
hired because he was a leftist, and then
No.
they could shut him up.
No, that's played into the movie.
Yeah.
But historically, the real reason he was hired
Okay.
is because he was somehow,
Charismatic guy?
yeah,
Okay.
despite his quirks and despite his oddities, he was a natural leader.
He got the
He was someone who can get people to do what he wanted.
Okay.
All right, Gillum. So what do you think? Favorite shots?
I mean, for me,
none of them in Oppenheimer. Every single one of them in Barbie.
The stars.
I mean, the one for Barbie was the one I was talking about earlier, where it starts on Ken or Ryan Gosling's Ken playing guitar on the beach,
Yeah.
And then
and,
a couple
yeah.
of
back,
guys, okay.
and there's 100 Kens playing the same thing.
And
That's
one guy
funny.
playing the drums.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. For Oppenheimer, for like it was like what you said, Lee. It was like sequences more.
Right.
I thought the sequence where I forget the guy's name is putting fucking the sunscreen on his face.
Oh yeah, Teller.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But for like a standalone shot, it would have to be one of the cut-ins of the particles, something
Sure.
happening.
Yeah.
Probably the one would be like from the commercial where it's like a plane and then you just see like
Right.
a big old like circle of fire or something coming by.
Yeah.
It's a cool shot. Other than that, the photography's nice, like for every other shot, but it's portrait stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it
that's
doesn't like
yeah.
it's not a shocking image.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
portrait.
I mean, all the close-ups of Killian are fantastic. His
Yeah.
acting, his facial expressions are fantastic. But it's
Yeah.
not.
It's
It's
not
nothing you'll remember it because of Killian. You're not going to remember it because of Nolan or
It's not
because of
scenic.
yeah.
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 yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
No, I mean that pretty much wraps it up for me. Should
I mean,
we?
Do we rate the movie going experience though? Everyone likes it. Everyone
Oh,
gives it
10.
10 out of 10.
Everyone gives it a
Barbenheimer is the best time I've had at the movie theater
think
since
so.
probably the French Dispatch.
Yeah, well, I think the marketing of it was.
I think the French Dispatch was just funny because he showed up late and we watched it twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Did
Yeah,
you hear that story? I thought the movie started at like 10:30, but it started at like 9.
yeah.
So I got there
He
like
showed
an
up-
hour late.
Yeah.
He showed up the last 30 minutes of the
Not
movie.
even, dude.
Not even, and then
10
he
minutes.
watched the first hour and a half of the second time he watched it, and then fell asleep.
So I saw the last half hour and then the first hour, and then I went, okay, makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah. He finished
It was hilarious.
But yeah,
Well, it was fucking fun.
but yeah. Okay,
Um,
so that's our review of Barbie Oppenheimer,
Yeah,
featuring our boy Laz.
yeah,
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
It's
of
a real
course.
pleasure.
Yeah, thanks
Look,
for coming.
like we said, long overdue.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
We talked about.
Hope we made another one.
How long has it been we've been talking about getting Laz on the pod?
I mean, we've
Fucking
got to
years.
do Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
Well,
have
we
to.
talk
need,
about
we need
that.
Gummo and Cat in the Hat.
I swear, I swear. You're
Gummo
gonna
would
watch
be
Cat in the
very
Hat.
fun. Gummo would be fun.
I swear. Oh God, Gummo's awesome. You're gonna watch Cat in the Hat. You're gonna be like, oh,
I,
that's
I,
Barbie.
I'm deeply.
like you don't have Barbie without Cat in the Hat.
I'm
telling you
deeply
right now.
scared of what's to come in the Cat in the Hat podcast.
Listen,
Like,
I'll be dressed up.
genuinely
I'll be
scared
dressed
right
up. I have a hat. I have gloves. I have a
Oh,
tie.
fuck, okay. Well, yeah, thanks so much, guys. You guys can catch us on all streaming services. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can get your podcasts. You can find us there. Instagram, too, at Monolith Films Podcast. Not just Monolith Podcast, Monolith Films Podcast. Featuring Lee, myself, Dante, and Nick Gillum. And see you next time. Peace.
Monolith Films.